gửi 4 người là mà 4 người 19 tiếng mấy.
Show lên giúp em xem là những ai sắp về
Đây
đích,
4
những
người,
ai
4
gần sắp về
người.
đích
bốn
nữa.
người lận.
Đây, Đào thì chắc ngày mai quá Đào, tại vì Đào cho con học thi rồi. Còn 4 người ở đây là Luật nè.
Dạ.
Luật thì còn 70 phút à.
Dạ rồi, Oanh đã
Ồ.
chưa? Oanh đã đấy rồi nha.
Rồi,
Và em biết chứ.
Chuyên nè,
Dạ,
còn
Oanh đã đưa lên
198
YouTube rồi.
rồi.
Oanh làm một
Chuyên
lần
còn
thôi nha cả nhà.
139.
Mình
Chuyên
làm một
hôm nay
lần thôi.
cũng là xong này.
Dạ.
Diệu Hương
Rồi
thì
Diệu Hương 89, anh Đào không biết.
Chị
Thì hôm
Diệu
nay
Hương
Luật với
đâu
lại
rồi?
Chuyên có được không thì Luật với Chuyên về, còn anh Đào không biết có tham gia nào kịp
Ấy
không.
chị Hương có giơ tay này chị Thùy.
Vậy Luật với Hương về đi.
Dạ.
Hương Luật
Ồ,
về
tuyệt vời.
nha. Vì Diệu Hương có quay riêng nữa mà.
Diệu Hương có quay riêng hả? Diệu Hương gửi chị đi Diệu Hương. Mọi người ai có quay riêng gửi đi để
Chị
chị cập
Hương
nhật với cái
chị
này
Hương
nè.
chia sẻ đi chị Hương.
Thì
Mới nói mà chưa có làm.
Rồi thôi, đua với em luôn nè. Về
Để
tối
cho người
nay
ta
lên
giữ
chị.
hình cho mình đó, nhưng mà chưa có làm.
Thôi tối nay đua với em
Rồi
cho
ok,
xong
Thế
luôn
các
này.
chị
Còn
nha.
tiếng mấy
về.
hả?
Đua
Rồi bây
nha.
giờ nha, biết ơn chị Thùy.
Ồ, để
Dạ rồi, Oanh đã ấy rồi nha.
Vâng, chị cứ
Dạ.
like giúp em nhé, rồi có
Rồi,
gì
đó,
chúng em
chị
chạy.
like xong rồi đó. Chị
Vâng,
like xong
biết.
rồi đó. Cả
Vâng,
nhà
em
cứ
biết
đọc
ơn
thôi.
chị. Vâng.
Anh Chuyên ơi, anh Chuyên ơi. Anh Chuyên có đua
Cả
luôn
nhà
không?
cứ đọc thôi. Oanh không có đọc nha.
Dạ vâng ạ.
Dạ.
Tốc độ 12 nhé cả nhà.
Lúc
Dạ,
nào
biết ơn cả
Oanh đọc
nhà
thì Oanh sẽ
đã
vào.
hiện
Còn
diện
trận này thì Oanh không
trong
đọc.
buổi tối
Sao lại
nay
đi
phục
dùng nhỉ?
vụ cho mấy chị
Sao
em.
em sao cái của em nó lại không biết sao nhỉ?
Tối
Em
nay là
không được.
trợ duyên cho Luật á.
Ồ, biết ơn chị Hương nhiều.
Rồi
Thôi
ok.
đọc với em luôn đi.
Thôi
Chị
mời
Hương
Trường Luật
thì
dẫn
chị
đoàn
em
đi.
mình về luôn.
Luật dẫn đoàn.
Ok.
Dẫn đàn về đi.
Xin mời Trường Luật đợi chị chút. Rồi.
Dạ, khi nào chị nói bắt
Rồi
đầu em
ok,
bắt đầu.
xin mời Trường Luật.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Ewit Speed Racing. And today we go to lesson 4, Richness in Wisdom. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, we
I'm
are
on track.
ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Let's
I'm on
go.
track,
Let's
ready.
go.
Lesson
Rich
4, Richness
wisdom.
in Wisdom.
Like
With
truly,
IME01.
we want to know about wisdom. We learn about all kinds of people. The wisdom person, the sagacious
The song
person,
is truly happy
the
when we know about
prudent
wisdom.
person,
We learn about four
and
kinds of
the
people:
arrogant
wisdom
person.
person, the
Observation shows
sagacious
that
person, a
people
prudent
highly
person,
value
a
those
wise
with wisdom.
person.
So what is wisdom
Observation
richness?
so that people
So
highly value
this
those with
we
wisdom.
can say
So what is the
one
wisdom
feels
richness?
daily in our mind
Observation so that
wonderfully.
people highly value those
Everyone
with
says they must study
wisdom. So
to
what is
attain
wisdom
wisdom.
richness?
If
Now, this
we
concept
will
often
wisdom
feel
now, what
heavy
will our
in
lives
our
be
minds.
like? And what
Generally, everyone says we
exactly
must study to
is
possess
wisdom?
wisdom. If we invade wisdom now,
Regarding
what will do
religion
our
in
lives
Buddhism,
like?
the term
And what
wisdom is
exactly is
used
wisdom? If we
in
invade wisdom
science.
now,
The term
what will the
intelligence
lives
is
be like?
used.
And what
Intelligent people
exactly is wisdom?
possess
Because
thinking.
religion
Wisdom
in
differs
Buddhism
from knowledge.
tells
Erudite
wisdom view
person is
why
someone
science
understanding aspect more
necessary.
profoundly than
Intelligent
others,
people possess
but they may
thinking,
not
wisdom different from
necessarily
knowledge.
possess wisdom.
Sagacious
However,
is
a
someone who
person who
understands
possesses
many
wisdom
aspects more than
the
others, but
the
may not
opportunity to
possess
become
wisdom.
erudite.
However, the
Wisdom is
person who
also the
possesses wisdom
foundation
has
of
the
sagaciousness
ability to
and the
become
foundation
erudite.
of
Wisdom is
prudence.
also foundation of
Therefore, when we
sagaciousness and
become a
foundation of
person with
prudence.
wisdom, we have the
Therefore, when we
condition to
become a person of
become
wisdom,
anyone
the
we desire.
condition to
Let us
become any
understand the
person we
concept
desire. Let's
wisdom.
understand the
What
concept of
defines a
wisdom.
person with
What
wisdom?
defines a person of
How
wisdom?
does
How does
one
a
cultivate
wisdom
wisdom?
work?
Wisdom
Information
information
structuring of
structure
wisdom.
of wisdom.
Current
Current
society
society overvalue
overvalues
the
the word
word
wisdom.
wisdom.
Therefore, understanding that
Misunderstand that wisdom
wisdom
comes
comes from
from
academic
that
background of knowledge. We
academic
analyze this
background of
wisdom
knowledge. We
and
will analyze. We can say very
gradually
clearly and
of
gradually
wisdom
light
within
the lamp
ourselves.
of
Current
wisdom
society
within
overvalues
ourselves.
the word's wisdom, misunderstanding that
Wisdom,
wisdom comes from
wisdom is
academic
simply
background
understood as a
or knowledge.
concept referring to
Wisdom
the
is simply
state of
understood
inner
as a concept
perception
referring
awareness.
to the state
There
of
are
inner
5
perception
levels
awareness.
of
There are 5
inner
levels of inner
perception
perception
corresponding
corresponding
to 5 levels of
wisdom.
wisdom.
Level 1 is
Level
state of
1
inner
is the
perception
state of
regarding
inner
people, objects,
perception
events,
regarding people,
phenomena,
objects, events,
circumstances,
phenomena,
discerning right from good or
circumstances,
bad, true or false, and whether
concerning
something should or should not be done.
right and wrong. Level
Level
2
2
is
is
the
state of inner
state
perception
of
that
inner
the source of
perception that
light
the
is
source of
from
light
oneself.
origin
Level 3
stems
is state of
from
inner
oneself. Level 3 is
Level
the
4
state of
is
inner
natural knowing
emptiness.
state of inner
Level
self.
4 is the
Level 5
natural
is
knowing state
encompassing
of the
state
inner
of
self.
inner self
Level
with no
5 is
exception.
the
That the higher level of
all-encompassing state of
inherently
the
better.
inner self. We should not
Mostly value
assume that
able to
a high
using
level is
the inner perception
inherently better.
appropriate
What is
circumstances.
valuable is
Level
using
1
the
of
inner perception
perception
appropriate
our
to the
perception. Only see our
circumstances.
children is wrong.
Level 1 of
Or why
perception.
and
With this
perception
level of
is wrong.
perception, only
And
we
on that person
only
is bad
know
of being
see
branded.
our children as
If
strong, our
one
wife as
consistently
incorrect,
level
with
1 wisdom
action as
determines
strong,
suffering we
and
will
that person
prolong.
is
And especially those who are here to the
especially
scientific
those who
perspective,
adhere
keeping this
to
level
the
is the
scientific
excellent.
perspective.
This level of
But
perception
if
is
this
maintained
level
purpose
of
people failing
perception
to
is
separate
maintained to work,
from the person
but people fail to
permanently.
separate
Suffering the
from
people
work.
will continue.
Level
Level 2
2
of
of
perception. Level
perception,
2
level
is state of
2
inner
is the state of
perception
inner
that the source of
perception
light
that the source of
origin
light
stand from
origin
oneself.
stand
That
from
meaning
oneself
is that we feeling
is that we feel that
every problem arising in our
every
lives
problem arising
originates
in
from
our
within
lives
ourselves.
originates
However,
from within
we neither
ourselves.
present
However,
ourselves nor
we
blame
never
ourselves
resent
on others.
ourselves nor
We
blame ourselves on
grasp
others.
the formula of the source of
If
light,
we
which is
thoroughly
we
grasp
must know it
the
to share with
formula
many
for the
people
source
to
of
help
life,
understand our perception will
when we
great
thoroughly
together too.
grasp the
When we
triangle of
fully
reality,
comprehend the
we share
reality
the
and this knowledge, many
this
people
knowledge.
understand we will
So many people understand we will gradually perfect level
that knowledge
1
regarding the
perception.
triangle of
This
reality
means
has
that
a purpose.
the knowledge
Level 1
regarding
perception, but
the
move
triangle of
level 2
reality has a perfect
the knowledge of the
level
formula
1
of the source of
perception
light
will
origin helps us
closer
raise
to
our
level
perception to
2.
level 2 while moving closer
While
to level 3.
level 3
Level 3
is
of perception.
state
Level
of
3 is
inner
state of inner awareness.
emptiness.
When we receive
When we
message,
receive
for
a
example, when
message,
we praise
for
a
example,
person,
when we praise a
object, and
person, an object, a
circumstances,
circumstance, a
phenomenon, or
phenomena,
anything else, we
or
hear and see the
anything
message
else, we
transmitted
hear and see
from
the
outside.
message and
Automatically, we receive it with
from the
sincerity within
outside.
ourselves, hearing and
Immediately we
seeing without
receive
being
it
captive
within
to the
is
natural
sincerely
feeling.
within
The very moment
ourselves.
initiated the state of inner
Those with accumulated
it
blessing
doesn't
and
matter you
merit
have this moment,
have
but
this
if someone
moment,
has
but if
opened it
someone
yet,
has not yet
the
opened this
state of inner
stage of
perception
inner
is acceptable.
perception,
They can
it
open it gradually
is
later.
acceptable
However, only from the moment the
gradually
state of
later.
inner perception is
However, only from the moment the
truly
state of
begin to
inner
step the
perception
world
is
of the
open,
inner self.
do we truly begin to step into the
Hasn't
world
been
of
opened
inner
yet.
self.
We
It
are merely
hasn't
quietly
been opened
approaching
yet. We are
level
merely
4 of
free
perception,
to
level 4 naturally knowing state of
level
inner
4 of
self that they
perception.
appear
Level 4 is the
frequently
natural knowing state of inner
in some
inner
famous who
self.
suddenly
This
know
state
something
appears
leading to
frequently
inventions, creations,
around the world.
and writing books
Some
with the
famous
new ideas
people
that benefit society. Level 4
benefits
wisdom.
society. Level
Wisdom
4
without
wisdom,
teachers, a wisdom
also
is
known
not
as a
taught
wisdom with
by
a teacher.
teachers. They are taught
Wisdom that is not taught
without teacher
by a
means how
teacher.
is wisdom and
There are
understanding
two
have been
concepts.
taught by teachers mean our understanding is not taught by
With a teacher means
some of it
our
from
wisdom
space
and
civilization
understand
or from
have
our
been taught
accumulated
by a
total knowledge.
teacher.
We are
We
moment
download it
when
from
our state of inner perception
specialization
is growing
or
naturally
from
knowing.
our
It's growing
accumulated
naturally
total
knowing what to
knowledge,
say and acting and
including
knowing what to do that is appropriate to the
mà nghe
current circumstances. Level 5 of perception, level 5 is all encompasses state of the inner self. When you all encompasses state of the inner self, you open the world view you invade. Some people sitting in one place can see everywhere in the world. When facing a person, some can fix the past, that the person's path and future, knowing what their past would lie and what their future will be. Some people can be observed the birth and death of every species, knowing when practices will cease to exist, will perish, or be gone. Furthermore, some people sitting on place say
Or
is
small
true
someone,
anything
people sitting in
everywhere.
one place can
This
see
status
true
of
everything
perception included
everywhere.
level 5
This state of
perception.
perception is
However, we should not
called
carry
by
opening this
perception. However,
to our
should be
normalized
happening, this is
stages
called our
indicate that
normalized
opening
expression
up to level
indicates
3
that
or level
opening
4 is
up to every
sufficient.
three level
A
4
Opening to
person
is
who
level 5
level
sufficient.
1
may
Let's
no
wisdom
longer
is
look into
someone
be
who
normal.
stay up in the
Wisdom-rich
perception
person
can
is someone who
distinguish
stay up in the
right
perception,
from wrong,
transcends the problem
truth
of
from
Christ.
false,
Right,
If
therefore,
you manage
should
to
have
open
and
managed
level
good
5
from
level 4
bad,
and level 6
concerning
wisdom was program
objects,
right daily,
events,
that the
phenomena,
next man return with
circumstances, and
wisdom risen,
people.
you
A
can
person
only
with
say the
level 2
possessed with
wisdom
level
is
3
someone who
wisdom, so
stay
it
up
is the
in the
wisdom and
perception
by
knows
wisdom.
that the source of life,
Wisdom.
teaching,
A
begins
person with level
with
1
there
wisdom
are
is someone who stay
someone
up in the
who
perception can
thoroughly
distinguish right
understand
from
and
wrong,
perceive on
good
subject
from
and
certain,
event
and from
originate
good from bad,
from
concerning
themselves,
objects
stemming
as
from
phenomena
their own
circumstances
mental
and
state,
people.
and not
A
from
person
the
with level
object
2 wisdom
itself.
is
A
someone who stay
person
up
with
in the
level 2
perception
wisdom does
the
not
death,
change
the source of
from the
life,
outside, but
origin in
really
within.
said
They are
need
someone
for
who
changing
thoroughly
from
understanding and perceive
within the inner self.
all objects
They
and
hold
events
the
originated
inner
from
thought
oneself,
in change
stemming from their own
others
mental
is the
state,
beginning of
and not from the
suffering.
object
Changing
itself. A
oneself
person with
is
level
the
2 wisdom
beginning of
perceives everything
happiness.
from
A
outside, but
person
clearly
with
perceive
level
the need to
wisdom is someone who
transform
stay
within the
up in
inner
the
self.
perception
They hold the
views
inner thought seeking to transform others, the
object,
beginning of
event,
suffering,
phenomena, and
changing oneself a beginning of
circumstances as
happiness.
inherent
A person with level
with that
3 wisdom
complex.
is someone who stay
They
up
are
in the
someone
perception
who is
review
always
for
between
objects, events,
the
phenomena, and
present
circumstances
reality and belief
inherently without problem.
constantly but
They are
sincerely
someone who
within
always lives in the
themselves.
present reality and
They
lives
are someone who
constantly
always
with the
know they are
sincerity within
saying,
themselves.
knows
They are
they are
someone who
saying,
always
knows
know
they
they are
are
hearing, know they are
knowing.
seeing, know they
They
are
are
knowing.
someone who
They are
can
someone who
the
can
stay of
participate
peace and
in
joy
joy
and inner
faculty. A person
perception,
with level 4
inner
wisdom is someone who stay
tranquility.
up
A
in the
person with
perception,
level
naturally knows
4
what
wisdom
to say,
is
what
someone who
to
stay up
knows
in the
what to do
perception,
is
naturally
appropriate
know
for
what
the
to
total
say and naturally
circumstances.
know what to
They are
do
someone
that
who
is
can connect with
appropriate
knowledge and understanding the
the
problems
circumstances.
of the thought since spoken,
What they
knowing the
have
past.
heard, seen,
Someone who
spoken,
electromagnetic frequency
know,
can
There are
accept
someone
response,
physicalization.
someone who
A person with
electromagnetic
level 5
frequency
wisdom is someone
can
who stay up in the
access
perception
pervasive
indicated
illusion.
by
A
space
person
and
with
time.
level 5
They
wisdom
are
is
someone who
someone
has
who
fully opened the
stay
palm
up
eyes,
in the
physical eye,
perception
wisdom
is
eye, heaven eyes,
understood
karma eye,
with
Buddha eye,
energy
energy equipped with
structuring
wisdom. Wisdom
wisdom.
carries two
Wisdom
magnetic
carries
sources,
three
the
men,
energy peace and joy,
energy
energy
success,
of tolerance,
energy of peace
acceptance,
and
and the
joy,
energy of
the energy
righteousness
of
and
tolerance
gratitude.
and
If
acceptance,
someone
and the
only
energy of
carries these three
appreciation
energy
and
sources within them,
gratitude.
that
If
person
someone
possesses the
always
energy of
carries
wisdom.
three
A person who maintains this
energy
energy
sources
source within
within
them
them,
will
a person possesses
generally
the energy of
illuminate
wisdom.
everything
A
everywhere
person
they
who
go.
maintains
They
this
become
energy
separate
source
and maintain three.
within them will
These
generally
three energy
illuminate
sources
everywhere
consistently.
they go.
We can say that the person
We can
consistently
circulate
embodies,
and
appreciating
maintain
quantitative
these
level
energies of
tolerance,
consistently
acceptance,
and
loyal
say that
nature,
person consistently
enjoy
about
life
the
and might.
appreciation and
This is the
gratitude.
defined
The layer
person
feel the tolerance
in
and
this state. A
acceptance
person
at
with
the
a
layer of
wisdom
nature
in this
and
state
present
is
joy
someone
at
who
the layer
carries the
of the
energy of
mind.
wisdom in joy.
He is
The
also
person of
defined as
energy
a
of peace and
person
joy
with
we have
rich mental
until
state.
apart
A person with
will
a
learn
rich
about the
mental
state of
state is
inner
someone who
emptiness and
carries the
solitude.
energy of
Income and peace
wisdom,
and joy
peace and joy.
stem
The first is
representing
the
that
energy
we
source
perceive
of
as
peace and
sincerity
joy.
within
We
ourselves.
have had the
The state of
opportunity
inner
to learn
emptiness will be
about the state
initiated,
of inner
and the state
emptiness,
of peace and joy will be
purity,
attained.
then
This
come peace and
progressiveness,
joy as
sincerity, information, when this information
representing
receives,
that
the
when
energy
we
of transform will be
perceive the
initiated,
sincerity
and the material
within
manifestation,
ourselves,
which
the state of
is the
inner
peace and joy of the inner
emptiness will
self,
be
ebbs and flows,
initiated.
stop being
The
seen,
state of
taken
peace
off.
and joy will be
Peace and joy is
attained.
stay up in the perception
And this
stemming from the
perspective
sincerity within
sincerely
oneself,
is
arising from
information
clearly seeing, saying, knowing without
and the material
communicated, and
manifestation
flowing
is the
layer
peace
of
and
the
joy of
person
the inner self.
is stay up in the
Letting go,
perception
stopping,
emotion,
ceasing, catching up.
in which
Peace and joy
and
is
the
the
delusion
state of
without
inner perception
reality
stemming
the
from the
purification,
sincerity
let go,
within oneself,
peace
arising
and
from
power.
hearing, seeing,
Peace and
saying,
joy that
knowing
stay up
without
in the
attachment to
perception
the
of
nature and
knowing
feeling
someone,
layers of
oneself,
a
a hearing,
person.
knowing
Peace and joy
feeling.
is the state of
Oneself
inner
seeing
perception,
and
emotion,
knowing oneself is
intuition,
knowing.
anxiety,
So we do
and
what's that?
delusion.
Peace and joy, for example, we
It
enjoy
is
our
often
children.
of
We are
and
practicing
joy is
divine
the
delusion.
state of
Then
inner
we go,
perception of knowing
you automatically,
oneself is
let's go,
hearing,
stop at
knowing
the divine
oneself is
delusion
seeing,
is
knowing
the
oneself
matter.
is saying, knowing
We
oneself is
constantly
knowing.
feel
So
peace
do
and
we
peaceful
possess
and comfortable
peace and
inside
joy? For
without any
example, if
burden.
we are angry
So at
with
that
our
moment,
children,
we
we are
triggered
practicing
energy
desire
of
and
peace and
delusion
joy, but
regarding them.
T-A-L-I-S-T,
If you
We resume
immediately
the design
let
delusion
yourself
regarding
the
the
desire and
beginning
illusion
knowledge
regarding
become again. We
matter, don't
must
you
initiate
understand,
the
feel
exercise of
peace
physics again.
and comfortable.
Would it maintain the
Nine,
most sustainable source
but
of
3
human
days
joy?
later, if we
The
resume
information
our
hidden
desire
just
and
turn
illusion
from
regarding the
insincerity within
child
oneself.
and annoyed
It
with them again,
emanates from
we
hearing,
must
seeing, saying, know
initiate
without
the
touchment,
entry
nature and feeling. Instantly, we
How
manifest
to
them
maintain the
articulate
most
who will
obscene joy.
maintain
For
the
example,
most
if someone possesses
sustainable
something
source
at
of
that
peace
moment,
and
we
joy.
can know we are
The
listening to feeling
information of
joy. If
peace
we
and
see
joy
an event,
stems from the
oh, we are
sincerity
just
within
seeing. We will
ourselves. It
stop
originates
is
from
in
hearing,
feeling
seeing,
joy. When a
saying,
person has
knowing
peace
without
inside,
attachment to the
society is
nature
joy.
and
This is
feeling.
initiating the nature of
Example, if
person.
someone
The desire
tells us
delusion are
something,
rented
at that
to
moment we
positively
know we
influence
are
the
listening
energy
peace
vibration
and
frequency.
joy,
In
and
the
we
internal
stop,
electromagnetic
we see
vibration
peace and
stay
joy.
balanced. They
When a
emit
person has
super
peace
high
and joy
energy
inside, sincerely inside,
if we engage
if desire and
desire
delusion
delusion
are
negative
oriented
direction,
positively,
it's lower the
it
frequency.
raises
Therefore, we are
the
simply
energy
putting up
vibration
energy and maintain
frequency.
feeling joy within ourselves.
Conversely,
Only
if
self.
we
There's
engage
the
in
only
desire
superman
and
sin
delusion in a
originates
negative
from within
direction,
us.
it lowers
Based on
the
the principle that
frequency.
we are energy
The energy
generator
is
is within us.
always super high
This is
since
due to
it
our desire
originates
delusion.
from
Have you
within
ever
us.
used
This
forms that raise the
principle
come to
that
attract,
we are
raise a lack?
the energy
We do
generator.
to restart
It is
beginning. We turn off the power and
have
restart
you
it.
ever used a
Similarly, no
that
matter what
freezes
the
or
disruptor
computer
we have in
activities,
mind, rest the
freeze
peace
or
and joy
lack,
button.
we
This is the
turn off
time
the
wisdom
power
energy
and
that
restart.
once initiated, we
Similarly,
start everything
no
from the
matter
beginning.
what
Pressing the appreciation
disorder,
gratitude button, we
we
initiate
start
the root.
everything
Pressing the
from the
tolerant and
beginning.
acceptance button, we initiate the cause. Pressing the peace and
Using
joy
the
button, we
tolerant and
initiate the
acceptance
awareness.
button to
And our wisdom
reinitiate
naturally
the
invades.
core.
Pressing
Pressing
the
the peace and joy
interesting
button to reinitiate
circulating wisdom
the
daily and
awareness. Pressing the
rapidly,
circumstance,
frequently, we
the
convey wisdom. We
pressing
want to
and
develop and increase the virtue
circulating
of knowledge.
these 3% daily frequency
In
will
gratitude,
unveil wisdom.
I want to
We
learn to
want to
develop knowledge
learn
from people with the
develop
tolerant,
knowledge
acceptant,
from
and
people
giving
with tolerant and
values
accepting
we have as we
about
understand many things in
wisdom
life.
will help us
Similarly, the
understand
energy
many
source of
things
peace
in
and joy
life.
has been
When
initiated.
the energy
The human
source of peace
connection
and
is
joy
coming
has
to
been
us become deeper and
initiated, the
better.
human connections
And not surprising,
coming
but the
to
same.
us become
Energy
deeper
source
and
we
better,
initiated
and the
before
fruit
that,
in life
beforehand,
may look
leading to that
surprising.
tolerant acceptance. The
That's
second energy
an
source of wisdom,
outcome.
tolerant acceptance. According to the UNESCO
energy
definition,
source of
tolerant acceptance is respecting and
Second
embracing
energy
the
source of
differences
is tolerant and
regarding
acceptance
ways of
according
life,
to
religious
UNESCO
belief, race,
definition.
and methods of
Tolerant and
action.
acceptance is
In order to do
respecting
things
and
with another
understanding the
belief, a certain
differences
limit
of others
to die
regarding custom, ways of life, religions,
towards
beliefs,
goodness.
race, and
According to
methods
the
of
human structure of
instruction.
reverence system, tolerant and acceptance is a state of inner
According to the
of
human structure
non-attachment
reference
to anything
system,
happen in the
tolerant
mind,
and
external
acceptance
circumstances.
state of inner
Tolerant and
perception of
acceptance is a state of inner
non-attachment.
perception
Where
being weak.
anything
Desire,
happening
delusion
in the
are
mind
stopped.
due to external
Tolerant and acceptance is a state of
circumstances.
inner perception.
Tolerant and
Desire, delusion
acceptance
are
is a
stopped.
state of
Those who have
inner
studied to the
perception in which
principle of
desire and
the
delusion
operation
are
and
stopped.
understand the total
Tolerant
knowledge,
and
total karma,
acceptance is
will
a state
understand
of
it.
inner
When
perception
undesirable
in
events
which
come to us,
desire
meaning
and
undesirable
delusion
birth
are
have driven,
stopped.
the laws
When
of cause and
an
effect is not end
undesirable
there, right?
event comes to us, meaning
Good cause and effect
undesirable
actions
fruit
have end
has
there.
spring
However,
the
we lack
law of cause and
tolerant
effect should
acceptance,
have
so
ended
the
there, right?
undesirable result
In your
accumulated through hearing, seeing, saying,
should
knowing
cause
in
the
negative
and effect
direction.
have
The mood
ended.
system
However,
is
we lack
negative
tolerance and
electromagnetic charge.
acceptance, so the
Tone is to suppress
desirable
us to
result.
think that because
A
it
new
will tend to be undesirable.
negative
Consequently, if
electromagnetic charge
undesirable events
sold
occur,
into
we
our
stop the desire
subconscious.
delusion and so the tolerant acceptance towards
Conversely,
person.
if
Persisting no longer flowing
undesirable
in a negative
event
direction
occurs, we
because of
stop the desire and
and right
delusion
there.
and
Must
show tolerance
hold
and
to
acceptance
tolerant and
toward the
acceptance
person
towards others.
is no
The result
longer
we have
sold
today
in
was
a
already
negative
dictated
direction,
by our
and the
total
cause and
knowledge.
effect has
That total knowledge does not
right
exist,
there.
we do not.
Why
We
must
see
we
that
show
result. If
tolerance
this
and
tolerance
acceptance toward
we
others?
can
Because
bring
the
it
result we have
on our
today
wood.
were
And if no
already
one else
detected
will bring it,
our
if
total
you believe that
karma.
we link that
Someone
result from
else
ourselves,
will. And if
sometimes
no
our
one
internal
else
knowledge
brings
tells us we must
do
go,
you
even if
believe that
no one
we
pushes
bring
it.
that result for
We trip
ourselves?
over the banana
Time
peel
when total
to
knowledge dictates
hell.
that we
understand. When we
merciful.
understand the choice,
We will trip over the banana
understanding
and
this, we
fall.
no longer people
Understanding this,
problematic.
we no longer
Even
see
outside,
people
we
as
separate this
problematic.
undesirable reserved one per person and so tolerant and accepting toward person. We truly save our own life. Why?
Truly
Because
save
when we are
our
able to
own
tolerate
life.
in the
Why?
street and
Because
accepting
we
toward the
are
person,
able
we
to
have
show
added
tolerance and acceptance
undesirable
toward the
positive,
person.
which
We have added
appreciation and gratitude.
the
Before we get back to
undesirable cause and
appreciation and
effect.
gratitude, we need to understand the concept
Appreciation
of
and
knowledge is
gratitude.
happiness.
Before we can
Practice
practice
appreciation
appreciation
and
and
gratitude, we
gratitude,
need
we
to
need to
understand the concept of
understand the
acknowledging
concept
happiness.
of
What is
acknowledging
acknowledging happiness?
thankfulness.
Acknowledging happiness is key to opening the doors
What
to
is
what's in life.
acknowledging
If
thankfulness?
someone possesses
Acknowledging
the state of
thankfulness
knowledge is
is
happiness,
to open
we gradually find it
out
easy to
to
develop
master
into
life,
appreciation and
real life.
gratitude. Acknowledging
If someone
means
possesses the
focusing on
state of
content that align
acknowledging
with positive
thankfulness,
desires.
they will
Therefore, when we
gradually
use the term
be
acknowledging, it is
easy.
synonymous
Acknowledging means focusing on things
synonymous
that align with positive
positive
desires.
details.
Therefore, when we use the term
Reserving the good
acknowledging,
things about a
it's
person or even
synonymous with regarding
acknowledging of one's
the good and
acknowledging one's
positive
own next
is
contact.
have
It
reserved
means
with
choosing the
good things
step serve
that
that
about that
quality
person
for
or
current
event.
result in life. Share with
It,
others.
it
Receive
means
telling the
choosing the
story
content
about
that
one's
serves
past.
as the foundation
Acknowledging
for the
being
current
thankful for
result.
boasting, acknowledging oneself to
Acknowledging
achieve today's result.
oneself
Those who
for
know
achieving
how to acknowledge
today's
and
result.
be thankful for their life prospect. And acknowledge
How to
and be thankful
acknowledge
for what
and
we
be
learn in the
thankful for
past will
their
become
life
great
content
challenges
and
in the
acknowledge
future.
and be
Learn and
thankful
created
for what they learn in the past
context for
will
to become who
become
we are
greater
today, but they
breakthroughs in the
intentionally
future.
fail to acknowledge the concept and acknowledge their child. The
While
parent ends
the
up being
children
a slow person
will
to listen eye while the children build back.
unintentionally
We accumulate
we
negative
accumulate
for our
negative
children.
memory for
We
our
don't have to
children.
acknowledge
If
our children
parents
will be
know
happy in
how
the
to
future.
acknowledge,
If
our
parents
children
as a
will be
father and
very
mother who know
happy
how
in
to
the
acknowledge
future.
and be
A
thankful
child
for
who
the
has
past
a father
context
and
God
mother and
created
mother
who
how
the
to
parent
acknowledge
will
and be
immediately
thankful
for a
for
very
the
state
past
of
context
God
that
created.
created whose
When we acknowledging and be
parents
thankful
we
for
immediately
what
form a
parent did
very
for them,
stable
this
set
creates
of
a
beliefs.
very special
When we acknowledge
future.
and be
No need to
thankful
talk
for
much. Which also
their
carry the
parents
key
did
source
for
of peace
them.
and joy,
This
tolerance,
creates a
acceptance,
very special
appreciation and gratitude.
tolerance and
It's even
acceptance
more
and
wonderful because we are
appreciation
using the
and
energy of
gratitude
wisdom to
is
illuminate
even more
one's
wonderful
life.
because we are
Key
using the
points.
energy of wisdom
That's
to
three key
illuminate
points.
our
First, acknowledge and be thankful for
result.
oneself. Second, acknowledge and
Three
contribution
keys for
people bring
there are three keys for
acknowledge
first
the
acknowledge,
context of life
be
in general have
thankful
led
for
to
oneself.
who we are
Second
today,
acknowledge
a person of
the
life.
contribution
Luckily,
people bring to us. Third
which will
acknowledge the
depend.
context of
Mean we
life
know
in
how to
general
acknowledge and be
that
thankful in
has
everything
led
we
to
experience.
who we
Then
are
wherever
today.
we go,
A
we
person's
bring
life is like a river,
to the energy source
full
of
at
acknowledge,
every bend,
thankfulness,
meaning
and
we know how
appreciation and
to
gratitude.
acknowledge and
The
be
energy source of
thankful
appreciation and
for
gratitude will
everything
only
we
exist
experience.
within us.
Then wherever
And the
we go,
energies
we
of
bring
appreciation and
prosperity
gratitude is
through the
present.
energy source of
Resentment does not
acknowledging
exist.
thankfulness,
Where there's
appreciation and
resentment,
gratitude. The energy
appreciation and
source of
gratitude will have
appreciation and
persisted.
gratitude
Resentment
always
is
exists
like darkness.
within
When
us.
resentment
The
is
energy
better
source of
created and life
appreciation
vanishes.
and gratitude
When
is always present. Resentment
and
does
taking
not
advantage
exist.
exists, appreciation and
Where
gratitude
there
lost.
is resentment,
Resentment where it appears.
appreciation and
Example, it is
gratitude
obvious that
disappeared.
the parent of the child's mother
Example,
was the
it
care of the
is
child.
obvious that
This is not
grandparents
obvious
are
that
the
she know
parent
why,
of
so
the
she
child.
must take care of
So
me
the
this
mother
way.
must take
In this
care of
case,
the
it's
child.
obvious that this is
It
my
is
husband,
obvious
he
that
must
she
be
my
like
wife,
that,
so
and
she
it's
must take
obvious.
care of my.
You are
It is why
somebody
it
boss
is
behind me
obvious
to
that
work,
he
so
is my
to pay
husband,
my
so he
salary.
must
Then
be
why someone who
that.
worked for 30
It is
years
obvious that you
the
are my
first
the company boss
company
you
pays
hire me to
50 and
work.
ask for the
You
first
must
salary
pay
for
my
few months.
salary.
Employees try to quit the zone.
A young man
There
who
are young men who
generously have
generously
begged,
have
leaving him to
giving
every
two
day
every
for
day for
3
2
years.
years straight.
In the
The
fourth
beggar
year,
returned
the beggar
and gave him
returned,
only
and
one
the
coin.
man gave
The
him
beggar
only
asked,
one
why
coin. The
only one
beggar
coin
asked,
today? The young man
"Why
replied,
only
I got
one
married
coin today?"
last month and
He
I need to
replied,
save
"I
split the
got
money,
married
so
last
I only
month
give you
and
one coin
need
from
to
now
save
on."
a bit of money.
The young
I
man
will give
wants to
you
pay,
one
and
coin from now on. The beggar
your
slept.
wife
The young man
put one coin from me to
the
calculate
point
our
said,
loved ones.
"Your
If you
wife would
eliminate the
take
sign of
a phone from
obviousnly,
me."
taking advantage,
Regarding
resentment
resentment will automatically disappear.
people.
This a
We
bit
should
too.
ask
We should
ourselves how many people
participate in our
participated in our
excellence. This is a
today.
man.
It
This is
is
meant to
a
be
must.
development is the best.
Appreciation
and gratitude is a state of
appreciation and
emotions
gratitude in a
movement.
state of inner
For an
emotional
objective event
involvement.
in an emotion,
For an
this is the
object
inner
event
state where the
phenomena or person,
personal
it is the
differential
internal
exists.
state
This
where
is a state when we
consciousness
acknowledge the reason for present,
it
important
does
and
not exist.
usefulness of
Important and the
people,
usefulness of
the
people and all
state
things.
when we acknowledge the reason for present,
The say when we acknowledge
important
the
and the
reason for the
usefulness of
present,
people
the
and
importance
objects
and
in
the
the motion
usefulness of
no
people
state
and all
being
things,
moved,
inner emotional state of being touched,
internal
moved
feeling,
is the
something
state
we
of
do not deserve
internal
to have.
feeling.
That
It is something
the self
we do
receiver go
not
beyond
deserve,
the desire,
but
delusion,
we
regarding the reality
exist.
of ground, appearance,
For
interpretation,
example,
good or
someone
sleep.
falls
For
into a
example,
very
someone falling in very
difficult
situation
situation,
and
and
no longer
at that
escape
moment
the desire
can
and
no
delusion.
longer
Person,
engage
someone is heavily
in
indebted
desire and
and
delusion.
have borrowed
For
from
instance,
everyone possible
and
and have
all
been
have
happy. That
refused.
moment we
In the
supply and
moment,
not desire
shoot
delusion
down all
about people
desire and
who
delusion about
suddenly
people
someone
who have
appears.
us.
That person
Someone
was not
appears.
having
That
desire
person
delusion
was not
as someone who could have that
our
offer
desire and
assistance
delusion as
at
someone
time of danger. At that
who
moment,
could
we
have
deeply moved
and
because
offer assistance
difficulty,
in
advice,
the time
how
of
we lack the
danger.
emotion state of being in touch
Connection and
with people.
development
Connection
in
and
this life
development in this
happen
life
because
happen
of
because the moment
that moment
feeling
of
moved,
feeling moved.
obviousness, taking granted is
Taking for
endless,
granted is
intimate,
an
control
enormous
the mental state of
internal
ours. We
time
can control our own mental state for
maintaining
mental
appreciation
appreciation and
and
gratitude.
gratitude to work
To
your
the
school.
sport,
The
children,
children
parents
and
should not
parents
care
should not
if
care
they
if
are
they
capable and
attend
moved by
school or moved by
appreciation and
if
gratitude
they
towards us. We
appreciation
only
and
manage
gratitude
ourselves. This is
for
called,
us.
we
We
read the
only
book
manage
later. If we
ourselves.
analyze the psychology and
Only
state of
then
people,
will people
that desire
move.
delusion grow, our
Therefore,
action become even
cultivating the
rather
it
honorary
is
and
a
great.
big from
And then people
development
move
causing
people
us
for
to
cultivating we move the
powerfully to
development causing us to powerfully unimaginable instinct power.
however,
The customer
are
are not
not
made
made
aware of
aware
this
of
over
this
time.
over
This can
time.
collapse
It
after
can
this
collapse
company
an
employees
instant.
same
If
product service
company
developer have
employees
no
sell and
tremendous
products
cost,
with
meaning that
developers,
regardless
they
of the
always
customer
move
behavior and when move feel more and
and
maintain
appreciation
appreciation
and gratitude
towards
towards the
customer and
customer, and they practice appreciation and
practice
gratitude
whether the
whether the
customer buy
customer buys
product or
the
not
products
to
or
manage
not.
because
Appreciation
original need to discuss
to the
appreciation need to
possession,
possession
gratitude
gratitude
leads to the
the material manifestation of wisdom. The material manifestation of wisdom is simply eternal trust in life.
material manifestation of
Felicity
wisdom
to
is
eternal
simple
trust to likeness.
trust in
We
life,
all want
simply
trust in life. Life is
felicity
simple when it is trustful.
truthfulness,
Destructive
trust
when it is
in
life.
likeness.
It's a symbol, so if we trust people, we are life.
It is
If a
that
person's
simple
life
who
is happy, they lack trust,
they
especially
lack
trusting
trust,
or trusting in
especially
symbol.
in people.
Symbol is
Trusting and
positive at a balanced state. The most balanced term we use today
in
is symbol.
life
We should
is
now
simple.
use the word symbol
If
at the first word
someone asks,
or
the
when
first
saying
word we
about
say
anything in life.
is the simple.
Someone
If
asks,
someone
the first
asks,
word
if
is say
we
is
can do
symbol.
something,
If someone
if
asks
someone
about
guides
something, if
us
someone
step by step, we can do it. We don't know
we
anything
can do
about
it.
it because we
We
are
don't know
new,
anything
but
about
we see
new,
it
but
as simple.
see it as a symbol. For example, if someone
Therefore,
talks about
someone talks
consulting and
about
training up
consulting and
on the
training
inner self,
on the
helping a
inner
person
self,
understand
helping
his self,
person
and lifting
understand
and so on. We
the
are
inner
in
self
growth.
and live in
Grow
this
in the self consulting and
and a
training
good
program study and a good in
consultant
self
and
consulting and
trainers
trainer
is
guide
our
our learning. We can do it.
do it. That is what's
Yeah.
big deal.
We
We
haven't
haven't
done
done
it,
it,
but we
but
see it
we
simple
see it
because
as
we see others
simple
doing it simply. Here,
because
this from expert that in fully understanding the concept,
making
making it
complex
complex,
stuff simple.
simple.
We are an
As
doing
expert
simply
in some simple
simple
tasks
tasks
frequently.
frequently. You are an
Professional,
industry
doing
professional doing
with
frequent
dedication. You are victorious.
dedication. You
Simply
are
about
victorious.
complex
Thinking
tasks
simply
result
about
in new
complex
laws.
tasks result
Thinking
in new laws.
complexly about
Thinking
simple tasks result
complexly
in new
about
truths.
simple tasks
Solution.
result in
We
new
have just
truths.
explored the concept of
Conclusion.
wisdom through
We
the
have just
information
explored the
structuring of
concept of
wisdom.
wisdom through the
The
information
energy
structuring
structuring
of
of wisdom,
wisdom.
the
The
material
energy
manifestation
structuring
of
of wisdom
wisdom.
and the
We
material
express
manifestation of
appreciation and
wisdom.
gratitude
We
to high mentors
appreciation and
for their
gratitude to the
guidance.
high mentors for
Appreciation
their
and
guidance.
gratitude for the knowledge.
Appreciation and gratitude for the knowledge,
Appreciation and
and
gratitude for
appreciation and
access and
gratitude for the
connection
cause
within
and
total
connection
knowledge.
within total knowledge.
That
That
gives
give us the
that gives us
opportunity to accept and
opportunity
receive
to
this
access
precious
and
knowledge.
receive this precious knowledge.
Ok,
Oh
cảm ơn
yeah,
cả
Oh
nhà.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
oh
Là
yeah.
26 phút nhá. Trường Luật, chúc mừng Trường Luật đúng không? Trường Luật về rồi đúng không?
Chưa em còn tiếng tiếng
Một
hai
tiếng 20 phút à?
tiếng 10
Ok.
phút.
Tiếng 10 phút nữa, bài ngữ
Alo,
Ok,
alo,
26 phút này cả nhà mình giơ
điểm
tay
cho anh
giúp
lên
Lê.
Lê.
Cả nhà giơ tay giúp Lê là vừa rồi những ai đã đọc giơ tay giúp Lê với. Chị Thục Trinh này, Trường Luật này, Băng Thanh, chị Anh không đọc.
nha cô.
Tố Trinh
Do
giơ tay đi. Mình thống nhất với nhau là mình giơ tay á để giúp Lê là Lê điểm
dạ
danh.
giơ tay nhưng mà do cái điện thoại của em bấm không được á cô.
Rồi Tố Trinh.
Tố Trinh. Chị Loan có là ấy không ạ? Chị Phượng ạ? Anh Đào. Anh Đào có đọc không anh Đào ơi? Rồi như vậy mình thống nhất với nhau này. Có này. Diệu Hương này, Vân Anh này, chị Thục Trinh, Trường Luật, Băng Thanh, Tố Trinh. Chuyên có đọc không nhỉ?
Bằng không á, tới lúc về không tới lúc
Vâng, ok, vậy thì như vậy là có 2, 4, 5.
6, 7, 8 à.
Đúng
Anh
ạ.
Đào có đọc không? Có đọc mà đúng không?
2, 4, 5. Có 7 người à?
Vì anh Đào không đọc à?
Vâng ạ, để em đọc cái chị có điểm danh
Nè,
luôn này. Em
chị
chụp
đọc
hình
luôn
sau
nè.
nhá. Em đọc luôn cho chị nha, để chị ấy vào nhé. Diệu
Ờ,
Linh, Vân Anh, Thục Trinh, Trường Luật.
Ồ,
rồi.
Chị em đọc lại này: Diệu Hương, Vân Anh, Thục Trinh, Trường Luật, Băng Thanh, Tố Trinh, lại ai? Tố Trinh, Lê,
Thục Trinh.
Thục Trinh.
Rồi 7 người, ok.
Ok, bây giờ lúc nãy Mỹ Duyên không đọc à? Mỹ Duyên còn cùng chị thấy cũng còn Ray cũng còn nhiều đường đua lắm. Chịu khó đọc đi.
Em đọc mà, đọc là lòng vòng 2, ý là em không có giơ tay vòng 1.
Vậy, nãy đang điểm danh vòng 1 á Duyên.
Đang
Bây
điểm
giờ
danh
vòng
vòng 1.
2. Ủa vậy là
Hồi
vòng
nãy cái bài
nãy
nãy
bao nhiêu phút Lê ơi?
Mỹ Duyên hạ tay xuống giúp chị để chị chụp cái hình vòng 1 cái. Mỹ Duyên hạ tay giúp chị cái. Rồi biết ơn Mỹ Duyên để chị chụp cái vòng 1 cái.
Vòng 1 là không có cô Loan.
26 phút ạ.
26 phút đúng không?
Dạ vâng ạ.
Rồi, ok.
Cả
Rồi
nhà.
ok, chị nói vòng 1 xong rồi.
Dạ vâng, để em nhắn vào trong group một chút.
Đọc ba bài là chị Luật về đích nha.
yeah.
Chị không tham gia.
Cho nên chị Thùy
Chị đi.
lúc nào cũng đồng hành với mọi người hết, tuyệt vời quá.
Nhớ round 1 này. Để em shoot là 7 người giơ tay. Cả nhà uống nước ở trong khi chờ Lê một xíu.
Yeah. Mm, mm.
Rồi, bây giờ là mình
Chuyên
nhà
anh Chuyên
muốn
hình như còn tiếng mấy à. Anh Chuyên
Chuyên
hay
đọc
đọc
nốt
bao
đi
nhiêu
Chuyên
chương?
ơi. Bây giờ trở lại bài 1, bài 2 nhé cả nhà. Bây giờ mình sẽ đọc bài 1
Anh
và
Chuyên
bài
ơi, anh Chuyên đọc luôn ha.
Dạ em đọc.
Anh Chuyên giơ tay luôn, đọc luôn.
Ok, cả nhà cứ đọc với sau khi đọc xong Lê sẽ điểm danh nhá. Như vậy nó sẽ cả
Yeah.
nhà.
Này anh Chuyên có đọc không?
Không.
Không ạ.
Dạ. Bữa nay là thấy về đích luôn đó.
Hôm nay là mọi người, những ai mà có khả năng về đích thì mình sẽ
Bữa
đọc
nay
để
về đích
theo. Những
cho
ai
vui
mà hôm
luôn.
nay quyết tâm mỗi về đích á thì cả nhà sẽ có người đồng hành cùng đến về đích luôn.
Đúng rồi, phải có người đồng hành nó mới tụ năng lượng, giống như tối nay là đông vui nè.
Đông vui, biết ơn hôm nay rất là biết ơn mọi người đã quyết tâm về đích này, và những người mà đã về đích mà vẫn đồng hành với nhà mình nhá, ở trong cái
Chị
nhóm.
Băng Thanh là về đích chưa?
Chưa, còn nhiều lắm thầy.
Vậy tốt. Đấy.
Thế Băng Thanh cũng chịu khó đọc mà. Rồi bây giờ Ray 2 xin mời Mỹ Duyên. Mỹ Duyên dẫn đoàn để có gì có thêm động lực để tăng tốc hơn nào. Xin mời Mỹ Duyên.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Mỹ Duyên, xin mời Mỹ Duyên. Duyên đọc đi Duyên ơi, Duyên ấy đi, Duyên dẫn đoàn đi Duyên.
Yeah. Lesson 1, the formula of the source of life. I'm ready.
Yes, I'm
We
on
in track.
track. I'm
We're
ready. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Let's go.
Go.
Lesson
Let's
1, the
start
formula of the
the
source of
formula
life.
of the
Which
source
is
of life.
one?
Currently, our society is being governed by three
Currently, our
perspectives.
society being
First
governed by
perspective
three
is the scientific
perspectives.
perspective.
The first
Second is
perspective
the
is the
religious
scientific
and belief
perspective. The
perspective.
second is
the
religious and
Third
belief
is the perspective of
and
morality
third
of
is
response.
morality and
Now let's
principles
we live in a world that
we live in this
being
world. We are
influenced
totally
by
influenced
three perspectives.
this
And one of the laws of that
one of the laws
influences
is
is greatly is the laws of
greatly
cause and
the
effect,
cause of
or causal condition,
laws of causal
interaction.
condition.
We imagine our current life,
Imagine
our current
life.
results explain
Our
the
current
outcome of
results
the
simply
things
the
we saw
outcome
in
of
the
the
past.
things we saw in the past.
There is a
There
formula
is
called the formula of the source of life.
source of life.
What is this formula?
Formula, let's find out.
Formula for
The formula for desired outcomes.
good cause
causes,
at favorable condition
condition
by a desirable outcome.
Therefore, if we want to
If we want to be a desired future, then we focus on creating a good cause of life.
in this present moment,
Belief,
knowledge, religion, and belief, science, and morality, and
morality of
principles.
response. We need to understand the root cause of person life through these three perspectives. We consider to have a flow without understanding the cause. We standing under the scientific perspective. Why do I have this perspective?
Understanding
Under the religious belief perspective, why do I have this perspective? Standing under the perspective of morality of resource, why do I have this perspective?
Why do I have
Let us
this
really understand the
If
cause
standing
from
under
the
the
scientific
of morality
perspective.
principles,
First,
why do I have this result today? First,
religion and morality of
understanding
response.
the formula from scientific perspective of
Paper and write down the word
source of life.
supporting
Religion and belief, morality,
all and row leading to the result.
formula of the source of
Had
life.
to choose one word that directly the result of life. Today that affect the life result. Free choice. First give us the magic that choice directly affects the result of our life. Let's reflect.
Today that
Is it
our life
true
result.
that choices manipulate determine the result of our life? Often train ourselves to write the right things, to good things like. However, when it comes to instead of having the tendency of our inner self to attribute the choices to others, if we contemplate even the desired and desirable situation in life only we do understand that the source of life originates from ourselves. Therefore, the source of life originates from me, but it's not my fault. Why it's not my fault? Because we did not edit better. Our awareness had been better. We would not have choice. Our awareness was only at that level. It led to that choice. Therefore, the choice we make at that exact moment was correct. It leads to saying that you want to change circumstances, change your personality. When that person repeatedly engages the same circumstances due to their form personality, where we do not know what type of personality is suitable to good outcome. If we focus on changing personalities, it's
we do not
at the
know
root cause. The cause
personality is
personality trait
So if we focus on personality,
such as having wealthy people found that one person becomes rich in one way, another in a different way. They have different personalities. Therefore, any personality can potentially lead to wealth
enriched
different
in
way.
one way and another
Personality
Different
and
personalities.
particularly to
For the
poverty.
personality
Secondly,
can
people realize that
potentially lead to wealth,
personality,
but
therefore,
any
change
personality can also lead to
personality, they
poverty.
didn't know which
potentially
one
lead to
was
wealth.
Ultimately,
yes.
people realize that
Focusing on
even
changing
if
personality
the
is
chance
the root
their
cause of
personality
diagnosis
doesn't
will
know
still be
realize that even
if
if
we
the
focus,
change,
but
if thus
focus on the
focus on
changing
changing
personality is not the
don't
root
change the
cause.
result.
The
Focusing
result
on
is
changing personality doesn't help
whatever
because
don't
if
change
we
your
don't,
personality, we
if we
don't change
don't
the
change the
result.
personality, we
Focusing
don't
us
change the
focus
a
on
result.
person have
focusing
to
on
read the
Focusing
person
on changing
changing
personality
personality
doesn't
in
doesn't
work
work.
realization. If we
Considering the
start to
root cause,
accuse us
and
to
the
first you
root
focus on
formed up
cause.
a
changing
person
habits.
habit.
The S
We had
is
that
Good
root
habits
cause.
personality
will lead
and
to a
The
good
realization.
personality.
personality
Starting
creates
in
good
good
Asking
habits,
us to
personality.
actions
focus
on habits.
habits.
People discover
Habits lead to
that
good
changing habits
personality,
changes the
resulting in good
result, and
choices.
changing personality changes the
People
result.
After
discover
some
that changing
However,
time,
the
habits
people
change
discover
personality,
realize that
and
habits
changing
are also not
personality
root cause.
result.
and changing
They realize that
personality
habits are also
The
not the root
how that
cause.
a person's action
Investigative
determines the habit.
and found that
Say
person
that just good
determine the
action
habit.
leads to good habit.
Say that
Habits lead to good
will lead to
personality,
good
and good
habits.
personality will
Habit
lead
lead
to
to
good
good personality, and good
life.
personality will lead to that
Following this,
life
we
result.
try to manage
Following
people
this,
action,
they try to
but
manage
they discovered that
they detect
action
that
still
action
repeat with the
still repeat
output.
the output.
Changing person
And
action
changing
is
the
very
person
difficult.
action is very
Consider
difficult.
changing
It's
the
sad that
action,
in changing the
focusing on
action
changing the action
we
did
know
not happen.
changing
Actually,
action did
it
not
was
happen.
provided by us with
Eventually,
inside that
it's first
person.
provided with inside that person's
Told us
determined
that good
action.
thought will
Tell us
create
that a good thought
change.
will
Good action
create
will
good
result
action.
that good habits.
We result in good
Habits
habits.
will
Good
lead
habits
to
lead to
good
good
personality.
personality.
It
Then lead
and
to
thus
final
to the
result.
final
So
result. The answer
the sayings goes,
saying goes,
so
so a
action,
time,
so
river
actions will be
action,
habit,
so
so
an
the habit
action,
will be a
river habit.
personality,
So a
the
habit,
personality will be a
personality,
destiny.
no personality, good
Entire
personality.
world focused on how
February,
people can continue good
personality more
mindset
cultivate
and good
good
thoughts.
mindset and good
However,
thoughts.
through
However,
deep
so deeper research
research
of
over
habits,
time, people
people
discovered
discovered that
that
even
when they try
try
to
to control their
control that
research, still thoughts still
still
repeatedly
repeatedly
emerge in
emerge
their lives.
in them live.
Thoughts were always present in their
Thoughts were
mind. They
always
began to
present in their
investigate
minds.
what
People
determines
began to
personality.
investigate what
Focusing
determines
on
a
thoughts.
person's thought.
The person continues
Focusing
to
on
repeat negative
person
thought in
continues to
life.
repeat
The way
negative
to
thoughts,
erase
negative
such
in life.
cause
Question is raised.
high-level mental
Observe the person
disadvantage
thought
as
mentors
that
point out
if
that
that subject
they believes the
believe
self-thought
essentially
believes
almost
essentially
only
human only
believe
hold a
about
belief
something.
about something
Can be counted to the
to
very
their desire
negative
or line with their desire.
also
This
known
is
as
also
a
not a
positive
positive
and
and
negative
negative
belief.
belief.
Someone
Example, someone
has
say, I keep
to lose weight.
weight, I can
I
lose
can't
any.
lose any weight. Trying but
Saying, but
does not
normally our thinking
people
assesses that
like
their ability
their
to lose weight.
ability to lose
However,
weight.
the deeper
However,
that the person how to believe that
that person on the belief that
they were
if
able to
they
be
are verified will never be able to be
whatever
complete.
belief a person holds
The
and
person
life
holds
result will accordingly.
will live
We call
their
the
life
belief
results
directly
with
their choices.
accordingly.
And
So because
whatever
belief
belief we
reflect
have,
effective
that
choices,
result will
every belief
manifest.
self research
We hold
manifests
belief that when
I hold belief
something, the result is that
something. Research is that we
human
cannot
belief
live.
something
We
about
only live
99%,
just have 99%
concept.
is 100%
100% conviction that we hold the belief, even when lies only
onto the
the
direction of
direction
the belief.
that belief, whether
Mind
it's
with
a
fear
lie or
goes against the desire.
or
Human use this
gain no
knowledge
desire. The human need
to be
this knowledge.
wonderful. So
It
if
will be
someone
wonderful.
believes
So
I
if
am not
someone believes,
beautiful, no matter what I
no matter
do,
what I'm
I'm not
doing,
beautiful.
I'm
So
not beautiful. The
that
result
the
the
person
person
believes
believes they are
that they are
ugly.
ugly, so nothing they are doing
Nothing
makes
they do
them
makes them
beautiful.
beautiful. Therefore,
For
some
some
people
people it needs
imitate their
aid
choices.
others
Go for no
go
choice.
for another job.
Their inner belief is that they are ugly
Their inner
person
belief
getting
is
a no
that
job.
they are
Sometimes
only
results in
pushing getting a job. Some found job in
nose
the
comfortably.
matching their nose.
People
Like a
really
person
believes
rarely
are
believes
beautiful when
beautiful
they get a
when they get their
makes
considered.
them even more
This
beautiful.
makes them
For
even more
how
beautiful.
believe they are
People
happy, become happier. They get married pompously. If we hold a
they
belief,
get married.
become miserable.
Mostly if
And
we
however
own a belief
we remain
we are
miserable. There
miserable.
was a story about him and
Whoever
his
married
husband long time ago.
will
A
remain
famous
miserable.
self-development
There
trainer and
was
reporter
a
instead
story
of
about a woman whose husband was launching book
lawyers
was a
touched it
famous
and turned to his
self-development
wife.
trainer. A reporter,
Her husband
instead
is
of
very famous
interviewing him,
self-development
to
trainer.
talk to him and
He
to his wife,
helped make people change their life and
well,
become
husband is
happy.
very famous self-development
Your husband is
Development
very much
training
happening
helps
to
many people
you.
change their lives
The
and
woman
become happy.
answered
The
immediately,
woman
no,
answered,
everyone's
As well,
around.
keeping next to you,
Allowed.
everyone
everyone
is so
around was
intelligent.
Wondering
what
Women
only
on
when
earth
she
are
said
across the
And
land,
yet
wondering
it
where
was
she said that
damaged her husband's reputation, not as opposed to a bright star on asking,
interpretation.
so had your husband
Another
brought
question could
happiness
be
by
asked
result?
a more
She said no.
open-ended question.
And another
Woman's
person
smile and she
stupidly
said,
asked for a more
how can a man
open-ended
bring
question.
happiness to a woman?
Woman's smile
Woman must
replied, how
have
can a man
happiness
bring
on her
happiness
own.
to a woman?
Only
A
then
woman must
can
have
a man
happiness
bring
on
her
her
more
own.
happiness.
Only
It
then
hasn't brought me
can a man
happiness.
bring her more
Be a
happiness.
happy person and he is just one
Me
who
happiness.
makes me
I'm
more
a
happiness.
happy person, and
Internally,
he
we like
is the one who
to
brings
believe
me more
that others
happiness.
love us.
Internally,
We believe
I
our
believe
husband or
that
children
other
love
loves
us.
her. We don't believe
We try
our
and
husband
demand
or
their
children
love.
loves us.
What is the
I demand
resulting
their love.
outcome?
And
People
what
do
is
not
the
love us
resulting
because
outcome? People
normally we like
love us
to believe.
because internally we
Don't
have to
see the
believe,
result
so we don't
externally.
see the result
Therefore, we only need to
internally.
change our
Therefore, we only need to
belief
turn
system
our
to
belief
change the
system to
result.
change the results.
Here is the
The
concept
concept
we need
we
to
need to
grasp. The
grasp.
inner belief in
To
pursuit.
live versus the conscious
Conscious
desire.
desire,
For
for example,
example,
when
when
a
a woman
man gets married,
man get
is
married,
the
there's
marriage
really married
be
to be
happiness and
harmonious
happy.
and
However,
however,
those inner belief does not will have
believe
not
does not
have
stimulate
marriage.
harmony and then
So the
have
conscious
marriage.
desire for
The
the
conscious
harmonious
desire you have
and happy
for
marriage. But if the
harmonious
inner
and have
belief
marriage.
contracted,
So
the
inner belief
result is that the inner belief always
design, the
triumphs
result is
over
that
the
belief
conscious
always
desire.
triumph over the conscious desire.
If the inner belief and
The
the
conscious
conscious
belief
desire
and the
are
conscious
unified,
desire
become one of
are unified.
conscious desire
Become
using
wonderful.
arms for the
Conscious
for
desire usually
happy
ample good
marriage,
things. For
successful
example,
work,
happy
a
marriage, success
relation
in
with
work,
one must always wish
relationship
for
with
a
people,
positive outcome.
everyone wishes positive outcomes. The concept desire unified with the inner belief, human life is wonderful. Human struggle with thoughts and belief. This is a crucial gap we are prevent.
The
This is
science were
since
entirely
inner
correct.
subconscious
Lives of people who follow science
others.
only be wonderful.
Ultimately, the inner
For
self
the
wins.
scientific perspective shows
Try to
that
get
our inner
conscious
beliefs
mindset
are
to win the inner
what means
belief.
our research.
The cell and
Don't change
scientific
belief
people did
system
the
to change
wrong.
research.
The
Only
science were
thinking about external.
highly
External will not change
reliant.
system. However,
People who follow science
belief
will
is
be
also not
wonderful.
good
However, the
cause.
scientific
So changing belief
perspective
doesn't
shows
show.
that the inner belief
We don't know why we trust a certain
determine our
person.
results.
So we
Therefore, we
face the
must
next
belief
question.
system
Determines
results.
person belief.
Only thinking
Yes,
about
person
it
mental image. For the sake of
certainly
mental image.
change the
Determines
results.
your beliefs. Just so mental images in
Root
our
cause.
mind determines
The
our
belief
change.
doesn't
Determine the
exist.
result of our life.
We don't know why we
Mental
chose such
image
a person, so
can't
we
be
need to
next
question what
more
in a
insight.
person believes.
Those the people
A
closest to us,
person's
the
mental
people
limit.
we feel most
It consists of
familiar with,
mental limit.
mental linking.
The beliefs.
Again,
There's a mental limit in our mind determine our
on both
beliefs.
sides.
The result in our
Those
life.
five words
Mental limit.
wrote the
This
mental
in
image of
a
our
small
feelings,
exercise to
emotion about the
people
person,
process
what then do.
that.
Exercise,
People who
exercise here is insinuating.
then without
Because we
thinking
have
right
the
and left,
mental image
tickling on both
beforehand,
sides.
granted
An
the result.
instant.
Our life
Why was
externally,
the
still our father has a handsome
our
vanilla
feelings and
gentle,
emotion
but
about that
sometimes
person?
other people
Stop
might
and
not
do
see
this
us
exercise, yes,
gentlest.
and then continue
We might
reading.
even see him as
Because we
strict,
have that system
but
mental limits
steady
in
and
our head,
gentle.
it affects the result of our
We,
life
even
externally.
when he sleeps,
See our father's
might
handsome, funny,
perceive him
and
as
gentle, but
rigid and
sometimes
quiet.
the
So
people might not
he
see him
must be
gentleness.
tired.
They might
That is why he
see him
is
as
sleeping.
we will
If the
see as
state of mental
gentle in
image
our
we
eyes.
hold our current father is
Even when he
laziness,
sleeps, he might perceive
when
his
he was
sleeping. Why?
sleeping,
We assume he must be
but
tired
if that lazy
since he is
attitude,
sleeping. But if that's a
our
mental
external
image
life
we
are
have of
rotative,
our
the
father
state of
laziness.
mental image is
Why?
normal.
Even
A
when he
story of
working, he may
life.
say, look at
Those
the
who
lazy
borrow this
attitude.
story from Chancellor
So
Michael
our external
we
life
are holding on the
projecting
object we
the
willingly
excess of
use
mental image in our mind. Try the story of the pen.
Consider another
Follow the
Eelts
story
creator, very intelligent animal living in our house.
we are holding a
When we see the
frequently used
co-eaten pen and
perhaps
working
a pen
on
writing
writing
machine.
instrument,
Now
we
consider
use
another
it
way
to
of
write. Since the puppy
intelligent animal living in the
is
house,
object
a puppy.
chose on
When we
it.
say this, we call it
Puppy
a
action
writing
of
instrument
chewing
because
makes
we
us
use it
think
to
the puppy
write.
perceives this
When
object
the
as
puppy
something.
encounters the
Is a why it
dictionary,
chose. If a puppy
puppy
perceives this object,
chewing makes
force
us
skills
a puppy
to
perceive
write.
this
Means
object
we
at the
see
moment
this
of
object
time,
as action,
which is
because we feel like using to write.
the puppy perceive
What about the puppy?
pen would
Said to
write.
smile and join us.
Means we see this
So
object,
this is
the
for
pen, because we visualize
is
this
right. In
like
our
by the
opinion,
puppy process of the thought.
what we
And
perceive this
truly,
as a formal
it is
toy, and we
the toy
perceive
of
this
a
is a
boy.
pen or writing
Right,
instrument, but as
puppy
so let's put
perceives
This object is not real. No one is there. Neither does
we perceive
what
it
no one is here.
writing is
This object is not
under
in
the
all.
current.
It It's not that it's
the
absent
object in the
that
room.
but because there is no subject living it, subject recognizing it, subject doing it,
See, the
and
object
that
isn't
moment is
at
nothing.
all. It's
Nothing does not mean that
doesn't
it
exist
doesn't exist.
because there is no subject receiving it.
Things have
Is it
absence have the nature of
acknowledging it?
emptiness.
The subject feeling it in
Have
that
the nature of
moment.
emptiness
Is it nothing?
potentially.
It doesn't not mean
The nothing
it
when
exists.
there is no subject
We have a
feeling it.
nature of emptiness, nothing
Is it
of emptiness, potential
is created by a
nothing
subject
when
that
there
we
is no
can
receiving
analyze.
it. For what it is created by the subject that
Correct.
and
And we look at that process. That moment is prepared.
now we step
If we
in
don't step in,
and we look at objects at that moment is
is a
bang, but
toil
if a
upon
dog steps
free
in,
and
it
free
never see
and
that
baby
going
step
on
at the
ball.
same time. For us, is a pain and baby is a
Bam,
pain.
bam.
Our
It is a
specific
bam, but
personalization
it is a ball.
determines the nature of the
Specific
object.
question arises.
Determined by
What
external
mean
nature affecting
nature?
us is
Is it determined by the external nature
active from within us
affecting
to the inside, the outside.
from within us?
Either the nature of this
Either
object
the
is
nature of
determined by
this
what
object is determined by
within
what
us, the system
within us,
mental images of no
by the
mind
system
that
of mental
dictates
image,
that what
no
this
mind,
object is.
that
The system
dictated
mental images no mind project
system of mental
manifested
images in our
reality
mind
purely. We said our further exchange is a
manifest
change
that
of person.
reality.
Essentially, the further
Clear.
is
We
nature of
said
change to
our
all,
father
and
attentive
no
person
one
essentially
one.
the father immediate
Because
center
we
in
have this
anyone. But
images,
because we have the
which
mental
inside
image
is
inside, it projects
reflected.
outward.
Our further
The
being
father being
gentle
gentle,
religion
diligent,
of
not
memory is
complaining
based
is
on
beyond
our
our
cognition.
condition of being.
Because
We hold a system of
those
mental
sets of
images
mental
of our
images
father,
about our father that
perceiving that
specifically
mental images within
the
person
mental images within a
resolve and
person
reflect
determine
to
the
an
results
external
in like
live
the
reality.
external real life reality. Or the words they receive based on
The
the mental
mental
images
images
we
they
hold.
hold. So if
So
we want to
if
change
we
the
want to
external
change the
world
external world,
or the outer
in
world,
other words,
if we
we
want
want
to
to
change
change
our
our
destiny
destiny
according to
according
the
to a
scientific
scientific perspective, change the mental
mental
image.
image and destiny, if the mental
Changing the
image change,
mental image,
changing the mental image
mental
just
image,
destiny,
density,
energy of our
we change the
psychological
tendency
life
of our
value.
inner psychology.
Other people
Like
live
the
together.
very
If a person does not nurture his
people
wife,
like to either.
positive mental images they hold
If a
about their
person does
loved
not
one,
nurture and enlarge the
negative
positive
image
mental images
manifest.
people about their loved ones,
Miraculous
negative image
phenomenon,
will manifest.
principle of life
It
balance.
is a
But light,
miraculous
if
phenomenon
we live to
influenced by
someone, if we don't
darkness,
enlarge the positive
spiritual
image
applying
we have
state.
of them
And
before,
also we live
as an
in the
images
world
emerge
only
in our
large
mind.
the positive
That's why
images we have
first we saw we
heard
generally have
a
positive mental
lesson is
images of each
to
other.
emerge
But the longer we live
outward.
together, if we try to enlarge the
That's
positive
why
images of
when we invest in
other person,
someone,
we
generally
the
hold positive
pleasant
mental
images we
images that
manifest.
further
Because
that
desirable
develop
realities often
together.
occur in
If
social
we fail to
relationships.
enlarge
Didn't
the
talk like my neighbor's wife be better, my
other
neighbor's
person's
child is better than mine.
same image will
Someone else's
manifest.
husband is better, my husband is not good. Others why others beautiful, others people's why why? Because we only meet
All
neighbor's
husbands
husband
or
or wife
wives are
beauty.
destroy our own
See the beauty of image.
because we don't know how to enlarge the
Our own
positive
husband
images,
or wife
need the
are.
poor images.
Because
We
we
need
don't
to
know how
change
to
the
enlarge
image
the
towards
positive
the
images, we see
direction
the
we
poor
desire,
images.
to
We
orient
need to
our
change the
image
image
towards what
toward the
we want.
direction we
If
desire.
we cannot but
Orient
beautiful
our
images,
image toward what we want.
the
If we want
system
to
will
hold
automatically change,
beautiful
and
images,
the result
the
will
system
change
will automatically
in our instinct. For us,
automatically
a person can maintain beautiful images of loved ones,
if a
beautiful
person can maintain
positive
beautiful
images of
images
people,
of loved ones,
change our
especially
entire
positive
fate,
images,
change regarding people,
we change
maintaining
our
a good
interface
image
condition regarding
for
people,
our health,
maintaining a
maintaining
good
a good
image
image of
in
social
our health, maintaining a good images of
relationship,
our social
maintaining a
relationship,
good image
a
of
good
ourselves
image
and
of
our inner
ourselves
self, maintaining
and
a
our
good
inner self, maintaining a good
image.
image of our finance.
Changing the mental
The
image
mental image and
we
destiny.
only need to
We only
have
need to
one
have
simple
one simple
realization
realization
to a scientific
to a
perspective.
scientific
The
perspective, the source of
originates
life
from the mental
originated
images
from the
alone.
mental image
We only need
in
to
our mind.
remember
We need to remember
the mental
one thing.
images
The system of mental
determine the
images in
result of
our
our
mind
life today.
determine the result
This leads
of
to
life today.
Rafa
This is a
saying,
Rafa saying,
one fully respect,
fully
every matter should
serve and
begin
every
with
matter should begin with
every
result.
matter should begin with
Every
the
matter
result.
should begin with the
Because the
result.
simplest way to
Because
achieve
the
anything
simplest way
we
to
are
achieve
about to
anything
do
we
this is to
are
start
about to
from the
do is
result.
start from the result.
For
For example,
example,
why is it if
it
we talk
is
about
so
Christian
difficult
marriage?
for
Okay,
Christian marriage to be
because we are
happy
not
because we do
the
not
matter with
start the
defining
marriage
result and
by
happiness.
defining
Is it
the
really
result of
we
the
are
marriage.
often
So
based
we have
on
our
observing those
on
surroundings.
observing those around us.
Our mind
Our
holds the
mind
image
holds
of
the
that
image
marriage
of
desire.
that marriage
When we
desire.
start, we already have an
When we
episode
start,
of all human
already have
universe.
the
From the result,
human
the result of the
daily
person's mind
starts from
into
us.
the image in the person's mind.
When we start with the
The
result
result
controlling
external reality
to
when the
come
destiny is sin, then it
oh,
means
to
to
make
us
holy changes.
destination is sin. Why
It
right?
is like knowing where
With the
we
result,
are
our
going.
turning
No matter the means of
drastically
strength
changes.
and yet
By knowing where
we
we are
don't know
going, no matter what the
where
means
our
was.
destination is,
First of all,
even if we are
we
equipped
can get this.
with the most modern
We know
technology.
where the
We cannot reach
destination
the
is, even if we
destination,
equip
but every matters we
modern
imagine
facilities. We cannot reach the
from the
destination touch every
mental
specifically with
images
the
in our
result.
mind.
The
For
result is formed
simultaneity, the mental image
from the mental image in our mind.
to the images
For
is clear.
simultaneous the mental
Our
image
minds
and
come
destiny when it
to see
clear,
every
our
matter
life
begins
become
with a result. So we can conclude
matter
that,
begin with the
according
result.
to the
So
scientific
we can
perspective and
conclude that
human,
according to the
if the mental
scientific
images of our mind
perspective at that
determine the
moment.
result of life.
Success of mental image in
Now,
our mind determine the
since
result
we
of our life.
determine the mental
Now the
images
question
of
we
our mind,
raise
this is because
determine
the
the mental
matrix
images in our mind. This is we call
brain
those
in our head.
picture appears
What we hear, see, say,
in
and
our
know,
head.
it determines the mental
We hear,
images in
see,
our
say,
mind.
and know determine the mental
What we
image in
see,
our mind.
sight, the
If
images
gradually what
we
we
hear,
hear,
what
what
we
we see,
see,
what
what
we
we
say, what
sight,
we
we
know,
know that determines our
determine the
mental
mental
images.
images. What we
What
are
we are
most often
struggling
it
most often is knowing that is
detrimental to the future, especially we are knowing the
future.
God
Simply, the knowing regarding
guarding
marriage is highly
detrimental to
detrimental
the
to a
mental
mental
image we
image of
hold.
home. So the
Images are negative. Knowing regarding
Nothing
child education gives us
regarding
image
child education gives us
not
images that is
positive.
not very positive.
Knowing about
The
this
knowing
life,
about this life, the knowing
knowing
about
about
people,
the
give us
people less negative
images
image
about
of
people.
people.
The
The
knowing
knowing
we
we
have
have about
our
people in
careers and
business,
business
in research, others,
recently,
especially our knowing about health
recently
is
our knowing
knowing
about health
from
is
birth
knowing
to
as
now.
health
Because
holds
according to the
us from
scientific
birth to
perspective, we
now.
cannot say
Because
about the time
according to the
before birth.
scientific perspective, we
So
cannot
from
say
the
about the
moment
time before birth.
we are born into
From
what
the
we know, what we
moment we
see,
are
what
born
we
into
say,
now,
what we hear,
we know what we see, what
influence
we say, and what
our
we know,
mental
what we
images.
hear
We live in
influence
a
our mental
village or
images.
lineage where every
We
lifespan of
live
people
in a
live in
like a
100,
village or lineage
120,
where the
160
average
years.
lifespan
Few
of
uncle
people
and
is between
rep
120 and
were 60 years
160
old.
years.
So what
We
do we
feel old and regret
we are
that
only good.
we're 60 years
We
old.
know about how what
We know
about
about
how what
health,
we
we hear
about how
about
and
health,
what we say about how
say about health,
different from those who live in the valley
different
near.
from those
And
who live
average
in the village
lifespan is
or
60
light
or
and
70 years.
the
The
average
latest case
lifespan
is
is
around
60
60
or
years
70
out.
years. The later case
At
60
60,
years
then
on
wouldn't we feel like we are going
depending of that.
we will about to
If
go
we're
go
16
go
then,
to death.
and we feel like
We live in line near
we're going about to go to death,
where the
we
average
live
monthly
in a
income of
lineage where the average
adults
monthly
around $1 million, no less
income
than
of the
24
elders
million
is
Vietnam
around
dong.
1 million.
What would we feel
US
today if our
would we
income
feel
were
today
100 million Vietnam dong?
income
How would we feel?
100
So what we hear,
million
see, say, and know
Vietnam.
determine our mental images.
So
What
what
is
we
the
hear,
entire
say, and know
lineage
determines our mental
structure
images. But if the
to
entire
to
lineage
achieve
that goes
this
just
higher income? Anyone had
and the
50
highest
million or 20
highest is
million
20 million
would
or
feel with
30 million benefit.
200
Indeed,
million Vietnam dong.
how would we feel
How would
with
you
an
like the
income of
Tiny One's car
200
appears in the future?
million
Then the
difference life?
in the
If
future a
only one star
constellation
appears in
star
the
will
sky in the
therefore
future,
a society when someone achieves
constellation of
something
stars will
beautiful in
appear.
itself,
Therefore, in society, someone achieves
emoting,
something wonderful
or hear,
in
see,
itself.
say, and know
This
is
will lead to a
necessarily
change.
as
Stars
accordingly,
marching, but
and we
people
would
here
change
see,
the
say, and know will gradually change
society
accordingly,
time
and
at
we
the
change
time. Giving
change
society
the
similar
image
than
of
being angry.
society. This
Future
how giving
one will
people
say that
a choice
experience of
is
wealth
similar
is
than
similar than
being angry.
poverty.
In the future, someone
Really,
will say
what
that
people here see,
career's
say, and know
wealth
will
is
change.
similar than poverty.
Society will
Usually,
undergo
what
the
people
massive
here
shift.
say, no will change.
Only a
Society will
if
undergo
people
massive
thoroughly
shift.
understand life. Society will
Only a
also
few people
understand life.
truly understand life.
That's what we hear,
Society will also
see,
understand
and know.
life because what we
Constantly changing. There's
see, what
a
we have
story
known
about
is
diseases
continually changing.
studying
The Germany
behavior of
story
very
about researchers
intelligent monkey.
studying behavior
Monkey
of a
loves
very intelligent
potatoes.
monkeys.
So
The
scientists
monkeys
gave
love
them
sweet
sweet
potatoes,
potato, but
so
first buried
scientific
them into
so
sand.
scientists
Was
learn sweet
their
potatoes.
reaction introduction.
sweet
The
potato
material
and
are done.
scientific mistake. First, bearing and them intend to
Viết về
observe
vấn đề
the
phim mình
action
monkey
the monkey like
accidentally wrapped
potato and
a
found
sweet potato
then
into water. He
unintention.
picked up ate it
He
and
picked up
delicious.
and
From then
eat
on,
it.
he
I
learned
did
to
it
wash the
delicious.
potato before eating.
That's
The father,
how
mother,
he
sibling, and
washed
brother
the potato
family
before
talked
eating.
scientifically.
Scientific
Scientific moment that learned the washing method.
When the 100 monkey was reached,
Surprising
something
happened.
surprising.
Monkey had not
The
been contact.
monkey did not
Observing all monkeys
He
from
out
the
his
one
mind.
forward
and
at first
He had
one
never been
word.
taught how to
Until
wash
we all
things.
knew how to do it.
That's why given potato
Phenomenon Elvin raised
spontaneously
to Crest
and to
Island.
apply water and wash
Later,
it.
we all received all
Observing
questions.
and
That monkeys
from the
could
100
not
and first
possibly
onward.
travel between its
Gradually,
islands.
we know how to do it.
They
The
also
phenomenon even
knew
spread
how to wash
to
the
Iceland, straight
life.
direct
Society
distance,
will
and
continue
monkey
as
can
transform.
not possible to travel between
We
islands.
change what we
Yet
hear,
monkeys
see, say, and know.
also know how to wash
Mental
potato.
images.
and
Change the
Often
mental
lies,
image
society
of the future. This
temper
alignment
between
of
what
condition
we
will
hear, see,
have
say, and
stress
know,
in
and turn
the
to mental
future as
limits
well.
on future
For
disalignment.
can we be in a family?
Vision we have are
Determined
on
to
the future as
transform
well.
ourselves
Therefore,
over
living
time.
in family,
As
we
our
determine
mental
to
images
transform
change
ourselves first. Every
with
time our
us
mental images
family
of
automatically
ourselves and
changes.
those around it.
Thus,
The family
no need to seek things in
automatically
others.
changes too.
Just like God,
Thus,
changing our
is no need to
we
seek
changing
change
our
in
mental
others.
images of
Focus on changing
our
ourselves,
loved ones.
changing our
Mean
mental
changing our
images of
knowing about
ourselves,
ourselves.
loved ones.
Our knowing about
Mean
humanity.
knowing about ourselves,
Think about another
knowing
causal
about
condition
humanity,
research.
and our knowing about
Think
laws
how
of
we
condition
change
and
the
result.
image.
This is how we change
Secondly,
the
we change what we
image
say.
and
Formula, we
subconsciously
change
change
the
what we say.
images.
Of
Hear and
changing
see,
it,
we change what we say and know.
control what
If
we
we
hear and
change
see,
listening,
and what we say and know, then we
saying and control the
possibly
hearing and seeing, gradually changing the mental
saying and
images.
control hearing and seeing gradually
Changing the mental
change
image.
the mental image changes destiny.
Ok,
Oh
6
yeah.
phút. Oh yeah. Stop.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
Cái tàu
yeah.
cả nhà. Tên luật sắp rồi. Cái 6 phút. Xin phép điểm danh round 2 nào. Cả nhà mình nào. Gồm những ai đang giơ tay lên đã bị hạ tay này. Gồm có
em đang chờ mọi người về nick để em chúc mừng này
Ờ,
vào.
sắp biết hơn Trang Nhung, Diệu Hương, Vân Anh, Hồng Loan, Băng Thanh. Chị Phương Thủy còn đây không nhỉ? Chị Phương Thủy out rồi ạ. Lên đọc lại nhé. Diệu Hương, Vân Anh, chị Hồng Loan, Băng Thanh, Tố Trinh, Mỹ Duyên, chị Thục Trinh, Lê Trường Luật, Văn Chuyên. Trang Nhung có đọc không Trang Nhung? Trang Nhung
Em
không?
không Trang Nhung vừa vào.
Ok, 26 phút. Chị Phương Thủy có ghi tiếp không hay là để em ấy? Em đọc lại. Chị Phương Thủy chắc là đang đợi đến bây giờ lấy chụp ảnh nhá. Những người đang giơ tay này. Copy 26 phút. Như vậy là có bao nhiêu người nhỉ? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 người à? 10 người.
Đúng
Tổng
nha.
tổng cộng có 10 người. 10 trên 13.
Luật về đích mà nhiều người
2,
đón
4, 5,
thế.
2, 4, 5, 10 người. Nhất Trường Luật đấy.
Ồ, em còn bao nhiêu nữa chị Lê ơi?
2 lần 26 thôi. 2 lần 26 là năm mấy rồi?
52
rồi.
Còn 20 phút à?
18. Còn 20 phút.
Còn
18 phút.
cái bài
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Hưng phấn quá.
Ngon quá.
ngon quá. Trường Luật
Nhiều
tăng tốc
quá,
lúc
nhiều
nào
quá
mà
nhỉ?
siêu thế?
Alo alo.
Hello,
Mọi
hello.
người mọi người giơ tay đang là đọc là điểm dòng 2 đúng không Lê?
Vâng ạ, vâng dạ vâng ạ.
Là chị đấy đây là nãy có
10
anh
người
Đào
ạ.
nhắn là 10 phút, còn đây Luật, Hương, Tố Trinh, Vân
Anh
Anh.
Đào á, anh Đào 10 phút ạ?
Anh Đào 10 phút.
Em xin phép ao zoom nha. Cảm
Ok,
ơn cả nhà,
biết
biết ơn cả nhà.
Duyên.
Ủa, Duyên không đọc dòng 3 nữa hả?
Dạ bữa nay xin phép ngày mai em đọc bù.
Ok,
Nó
rồi
chỉ
chị
đọc đến
ghi
thứ
hết
6
rồi.
thôi nha, tối chỉ đến thứ 6 thôi đó, còn nếu mà
Ủa dòng này Nhung có đọc không? Cái dòng
Em
2 có
không,
Nhung không?
em không ạ.
anh
Không á.
Đào anh Đào là 10 phút ạ.
Anh Đào 10 phút. Rồi có Duyên, Hồng Loan, Tố Trinh,
Em
Diệu
đọc cho
Hương, Văn
để
Anh,
em chút để em đọc cho.
Lê Thục Trinh, Văn Thanh, Luật. Rồi ok.
10 người là 26 phút, anh Đào là 10 phút. Ồ, sao? Có anh Đào trong Zoom ạ? Sao em không nhìn thấy anh Đào nhỉ?
Có, nãy chị có thấy.
À thế ạ.
Ừ.
Rồi ok, bây giờ
Ok,
đến
xong.
bài 2 nhá, đọc nốt bài 2 là mình stop nhá. Nếu mọi người đọc thêm thì là đọc 3 bài dài nhất.
Biết ơn chị Trinh nha. Biết ơn chị Trinh rất là nhiều.
Trinh Ngân hả? Ok, biết ơn
Chị Trinh
Trinh.
là về đích rồi đúng không ạ?
Chị xin về đích rồi.
Trinh
Vậy
về
mà
đích
còn dụng tâm
rồi.
vô Zoom để hỗ
Vào
trợ
vô ủng
miễn phí
hộ
Hỗ trợ
à?
mọi người
thôi.
thôi,
Tốt
năng
quá
lượng
trời,
thôi.
ngon quá trời.
Tối nào chị Trinh cũng vào, nó xúc động lắm. Cả
Thật
Trang
sự
Nhung
là
nữa.
cảm động nội tâm khi mà thấy mọi người về đích rồi nhưng mà còn vào Zoom để kéo các thành viên nữa. Tuyệt vời quá.
Trang Nhung nữa
Biết ơn
này.
chị Trinh nhiều.
Chị Hồng Loan cũng về đích cũng vào này.
Biết ơn
Vân
chị
Anh
Trang Nhung này, chị
này.
Trang Nhung về đích rồi mà vào hỗ trợ lúc này.
Vân Anh nữa này.
Có
Còn thầy
Hồng
Luật
Loan
này,
này.
còn Măng Thanh này, còn
Ừ.
thầy Chuyên này,
Chuyên thì còn bao nhiêu phút rồi nhỉ?
còn Diệu Hương.
Diệu Hương chắc
Con
là
Chuyên thì như còn tiếng rưỡi hay là
Thầy Chuyên gần rồi.
Chuyên thì nay mai nữa xong rồi.
chắc là mai Chuyên về rồi. Sáng mai là Chuyên về thôi. Sáng mai Chuyên
Chuyên
chạy
về
phát là
thôi.
về.
Ừ.
Rồi xin phép mời năng lượng của chị Thục Trinh.
Chị Trinh out rồi mà.
À chị Trinh Nhau rồi ạ.
Dòng này thì Luật giờ về nước thì giờ
Thôi
dẫn
luật
Lan
chốt đi,
đi.
Rồi này mời Luật đi.
luật chốt đi cho luật về.
Okay, thank you. Now
Về đích mình nói
we
lộn.
go to the Ewit speed racing, a final lap. Lesson 2, the structure of a human being. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm
Yes, I'm
ready.
ready.
I'm on
Perfect.
track. I'm
I'm
ready.
I'm on
ready.
course. I'm ready.
Okay, let's go.
Go. Oh yeah. Lesson 2, the structure of a human
Listen
being.
to the structure of
Reading
human
1,
being.
page
Structure of human being. Important concept.
678.
Important
The
knowledge
structure of a
about the
human
human
being, the
structure. The
important
knowledge
concept,
regarding
the
the human
important
structure is
knowledge about the
considered
human
one of the
structure.
three important
The knowledge regarding the human structure is considered as one of preferred in life. This knowledge explains the origin of life from the religious perspective. It is a time of understanding that helps people open awake their wisdom intellect, open the door to view the human life, explain the question in the human life, the significant realizing the human structure. When awareness of the human structure is gained, you will understand the help people find the true natures, facilitating the concept reception of the true nature within themselves, understanding the 16 human natures, great desire and thought conception are the focal point of the human nature, representing the human ego, understanding the important natures of any being, understand the three forms of the virtues marriage, sins, blessing, understand the total karma, knowledge karma, connection karma, result karma, understand the graphs, matter, space and time, understand that inner awareness, perception determines the electromagnetic vibration state of the inner being, which subsequently determine energy vibration frequency, and finally determines the experience of the human life, worldview, and the cosmic view. Change the cause in the past, enter onto the effect, result in the present, and stimulate the good effect, result for the future. 3. Introduction to the human structure. Our current life is a result created by the cause in the past. fact. Our present is the cause in lie in the future. Changing the present means changing the cause. That we created the effect result for the future. If we want the desired future, we must change the cause in the present. Only when a person knows whether the root of life originated can change the cause and thus change the effect result. Through three perspective principles of truth, religions, and science, along with the three frames of reference, scientific reality, human structures, and the formula of the root of life, we can fully understand where the root of the human life originated, including what the causes combine to create the effect result. From this understanding, people will know how to create good causes and favorable conditions to reach desirable effect result in life. The human structure is one of the three reference important frames of reference. This frame of reference is built by the perspective of religion beliefs, utilizing the knowledge of Buddhism to understand the human structures, and thereby focus the root origin and the cause of the human life. According to this view, the true nature. What is the true nature? The true nature is that which does not change across space and time. Anything that changes is no longer the true nature. And down daily lives, everything is not the true nature because it changes over time, such as houses, cars, emotions, love, and even the human body, which changes every day. If we cling to the changes things, we never achieve peace and joy. Claim something that is real and is true, but is not the true nature. According to a story, the demons conspire to hide the true nature deep inside humanity, believing that most dangerous species. It is such a place. As a result, people no longer cling to the true nature within themselves. They mainly cling to external things, so they cannot achieve peace and joy. Only those who have destiny to find the true nature within themselves and will find the true nature within themselves, give brought peace and joy. Knowing the human nature is crucial and highly valuable knowledge for humanity. Understanding the human structure means understanding oneself and finds finding the true nature within oneself to peace and joy. Since the human structure is viewed through the lens of religion or belief, we borrow knowledge from Buddhism to lend it components to of the human structure. The human structure has four parts. These parts are categorized by different terminologies used by the common folk science in Buddhism. In terms of the structure of human cell, there is a terminology of the 8 great combination. Typically, the four great combination is set to create the body. However, intrinsically, the 5 great combination create a body consisting of air, water, fire, electromagnetism. When considering the whole person, there are also heart, mind, natures, and motion. Thus, the body is formed by 8 elements. Heart, mind, natures, emotion, earth, water, air, fire, electromagnetism. Referred to as a great combination. To correctly define the human structure is should be 9 great combination. This is because when speaking about heart, mind, the electromagnetism of life must be occurred, meaning the electromagnetism is divided into 2 forms. Electromagnetism of light, yin-yang electromagnetism, totally in 9 great combination. When referring to the body with the heart, mind, natures, and emotion, this is a 5 great combination: earth, water, air, fire, and electromagnetism. To unify the terminology, the human structure consistently defined as follows. The human structures consist of the 2 natures, the 16 human nature, the layer of motion, the layer of 4 element bodies. Specifically, the true nature includes the intelligence here, intelligence say, the intelligence surrounded by electromagnetism of light. The 16 human natures consist of reception, thoughts, conception, action, internal reception, consciousness, wealth, talent, beauty, form, fame, truth, eating, sleep, crash, wish, desire, anger, ignorance, delusion, arrogant, pride, proud, evil, and hearing attachment. This layer is surrounded by yin yang electromagnetism. The layer of motion consists of 84,000 electrode bubbles, also known as emotion. The layer of 4 elements body consists of earth, nutrition, water, air, and warmth. This layer is surrounded by yin yang electromagnetism. The layer structure also contains 3 forms of virtues: merit, blessing, sin, and total karma. Known as karma, connection karma, result karma. According to common thought, the inner structure of a person, the inner being, include the mind, natures, and emotion, will manifest outwardly as a body. We often refer at this as nature emotion. Understanding oneself requires understanding heart, mind, nature's emotion, and body fully. When we understand our inner being, we can attain peace and joy. Everyone in life seeks peace and joy and initiate it when a person finds unity within themselves. Favorite to definition of 16 human natures. In the human natures, human structure, the layer of 16 human nature is Vietnamese terminology. This meaning closest to the human structure take are reception, receiving, taking in, through thought, conception, remembering, imagining, planning, focusing, action, internal processing, processing, acting out, consciousness, conscious understanding, knowledge, wealth, talent, money, wealth, talent, ability, beauty, form, physical body, appearance, form, fame, reputation, fame, food, eating, sleep, rest, keeping, resting, rich, desire, wants, anger, wrath, anger, ignorance, delusion, stupidity, arrogance, pride, arrogance, haughtiness, doubt, suspicion, doubt, evil, cruelty, weakness, adherence, attachment, stubbornness, fake view, poker part, and the level of the human nature, rich design, thought conception, at a focal point of the human nature, rich design, thought conception regarding wealth, talent, beauty, form, fame, food, eating, and sleep, rest, determine the degree and level of anger, ignorance, delusion, arrogant, pride, doubt, evil, and hearing attachment. They also determine what receive reception, how it is processed, action, internal processing, and what it recognizes. Consciousness. Rich desire fundamentally means wanting or wishing. Rich desire is really not problematic, but society currently equates harm with readiness, leading to the perception that in reality, harm is simply desire. People constantly desire something, such as desire the theory to make matter, desiring to understand themselves. Even Buddha possessed this nature, exemplified by the desire to serve our sentient being and desire to awaken people to Buddhist enlightenment. Our conception of three states: imagination, present, remembrance, past, focusing, planning in the future. A person who no longer great desire or thought conception, meaning they have no desire or wishes for the present or future, and remember nothing of the past, is no longer considered a human. Therefore, great desire and thought conception are focal points of human nature. Great desire and thought conception regarding wealth, talent can manifest in ways. Money, wealth, desiring to earn money, or planning future action to earn money. Talent, ability, desiring to learn various things to acquire talent. Great design, thought conception regarding beauty, form, include the physical body and appearance form. A physical body focus emphasizing self-care
by
Person focus on the physical body pays low attention to their health, avoiding anything harmful, exercise, eating, sleeping properly. They are meticulous about their appearance, looking tidy and elegant when going out. Appearance from focus, directing important towards surrounding environment. A person focused on subtle and tolerated dirty health. They demand a variety of type, not just for themselves.
Appearance from focus is important toward environment. A person focused on subtle cannot tolerate other harm. They demand appropriate attire, not just for themselves but for those about them. Fashion they are certainly in a blend with their on
Design for conception
appearance is also primer and work that is more redesign for contention starting from the desire to payment. For company the desire to payment, sexual application of nature dependent on something. With desire and for conception starting for eating this after desire is changed in the food. For some how they exercise
With design for conception, some people cannot sleep while others sleep peacefully at different times. It combined with subtle they might provide a beautiful place to sleep. Rich design conception carry an extract the initiated outer layers of the human structure in a specific direction, combining what it received reception, outward reception, action internal reception, and what we recognize as conceptual rises. A single human intention can lead a person thousands of miles away. Being able to influence others in society is due to aligning with their great design and thought conception. If we want to guide our children toward comprehensive greatness, we must make them design blindfolded. Otherwise, they will drive toward negative direction. If we do not guide our children great design and thought conception toward the right track, they will lead toward the black path. The amplitude of human nature, because the structure of human nature is impaired by yin-yang electromagnetism and nature fluctuates right form, meaning they have an amplitude of circulation. The level of degree of nature's redesign is not an illusion. You can drive down evil and human then from low to high, or from negative to positive. Yeah, with design below. Nature degree in greatness, characterized by design only for oneself. The high positive degree of generosity, characterized by designing for others. For instance, designing money only for oneself is that greatness, but designing money for others is generosity. Great design is simply a design articulated for negative positive. Desiring for oneself negative design, great greatness, designing for others so positive design, generosity. Excessive generosity also is beneficial. One design simply based on subscriber or system, individual, family, and society designing for both simultaneously. Anger, the low negative degree of family graph anger. The high positive degree of satisfaction. Ignorant delusion, the low negative degree of sea of delusion. The high positive degree of clarity, wisdom. Arrogant pride. The low negative degree of inferiority. The high positive degree of superiority. Now confidence, chanting the middle. Now the low negative degree needs sufficient. The high positive degree of trustworthiness, reliance. Closely the middle. Society and trustworthiness. Evil, low negative degree duty. High positive degree kindness, benevolence. The human nature is regarded as articulated around kindness to worthy. The hearing attachment, the low negative degree. Here is to balance, preview. The high positive degree acceptance. And these nature completely interact. They create emotional level human natures, however, originally from great design, thought conception, and redesign talk conception are the focal points that initiate the remaining anger, ignorant, illusion, arrogant, bright, down, evil, inherent, customary, specific direction. A brief design, talk conception, and subject point, all remaining nature are pushed towards a positive down direction. If they are not sanctified, cannot be stopped. They are pushed towards the negative yin direction. Design and talk conception regarding well talent, beauty, form, fame, food, predetermined reception, action, internal reflection, and consciousness. For example, we desire plan for health and physical body. Regarding medical books, we open the consciousness of the reception with integrated knowledge, leading to deeper understanding of health. Design and talk conception facilitate the absorption of knowledge without absorption in book. Action and internal reception, the output. The natures have the attitude of circulation. Fundamentally, where talent, beauty, form, fame, food, attain, sleep, rest, or reception, talk, conception, action, internal processing. Positive do not possess negative or positive electromagnetism. It is the addition of redesign that determines their electromagnetism. Initiating anger, ignorance, delusion, arrogant, pride, doubt, evil, appearance, attachment in a certain direction. Observation of society show the most low-tier laborers often push well talent, beauty, form, fame, food, things, and sleep, rest toward a negative direction because their desires are not met. Several people pushed these toward the positive intellectual of those in research, scientific reception, action, internal reception, consciousness, toward the inner direction. The red mind later layer determines a person's social standing. What is the inner being? In the human structure, the body intangible, physical factor, and intangible factor with the person material factor, including heart, natures, and emotion, according to the common terminology. The inner being. The inner being consists of heart, nature, emotion. Let's take a look at two nature with them. 16 human nature include emotion. Topic 1. Us to the inner being. When message is transmitted is passed through the human body. We have the 5 senses, by nose, mouth, ear, feeling. Go to the layer of motion. Layer of nature, finally reach the nature heart. 3 states of inner being when receiving message. When the message touch the layer of motion, we are using motion to interact. When the message touch the layer of nature, we are using nature to analyze and distinguish. When the message touch the heart mind, we are using the heart mind to receive accept. These 3 special states, using the heart mind to receive, and the nature to analyze, distinguish, or using emotion to interact, showing the degree of mastering inner being. Example, using emotion to interact. If someone praises your beauty and you feel pleased and happy, you're using emotion to interact. Example, using nature to analyze, distinguish. If someone praises your beauty and you ask, where? This is my care, my praise. Tell me, you are using nature to analyze, distinguish. Why they're complimenting you. Example, using heart mind to receive. If someone praises your beauty and you simply acknowledge that they accept you are beautiful, stopping there without any further talk or emotion arises. You are using the heart mind to receive. The concept of mastering the inner being, mastering means initiative, actively and taking responsibility. Mastering the inner being is actively choosing and taking responsibility for the choices within the inner being to master external circumstances. In life, people need to actively and flexibly choose our 3 stages, using the heart mind to receive, using nature to analyze, distinguish, and using emotion to interact. Due to different subjects and circumstances, this is inappropriate to only use one state. For instance, if a child has your home, merely using hot mind to receive and without any action is unsuitable. Similarly, if a loved one compliments you, only receiving message without any reaction can strain in the relationship. In work hard study, only using hard mind to receive without analyzing and distinguish right wrong will not bring progress. If adversity or criticism comes and only use emotion to interact, it easily leads to negative feelings. Focus to emptiness nature of any being. The state of emptiness nature of any being is achieved when one uses the opportunity within oneself to receive a message without nature or emotional layer interfering or sticking. The instant to hear, the intention to see, get the touch, the layer of nature, the layer of emotion to perceive a message. If it does, representing the layer of nature emotion circulated too much, the sunlight to perception it does. When hearing touched with the layers of nature emotion, it is no longer the true hearing. Similarly, when seeing a touch, the layer of nature emotion is no longer the true seeing. True seeing and true hearing means that when a message arrives, then only knows that is seeing or without human nature or emotion layers being applied. Having true hearing and true seeing is a state of emptiness, nature of inner being. For example, when someone contemplating, you only register sound without initiating any emotion analysis. This is true hearing and achieving the emptiness nature of any being. In that moment, words previously had no meaning. It is just a message. Why not disturb or attract the nature of an emotion? The emptiness nature of inner being is different from empathy and empathetic person use the top conception just outward without truly hearing, saying without truly seeing, making it indifferent to their surroundings. The emptiness nature of inner being is when used nature the conception naturally stops. This means knowing what is happening and knowing is this conception arises, using the true nature to receive messages. When a message transmitted, a person hears only hearing, only seeing, initiating noting, and it is taught to a nature of motion lays, using only the true nature to receive the message. They achieve the state of emptiness nature of inner being. The emptiness nature of inner being is fullest and tangible, and can only be received or not received. It can be understood. It is a state that one knows for oneself, not the whole, only the self knows. When the emptiness nature is achieved, the mind in enlightenment is separated, using the true nature to receive message leads to peace and joy in life. Application of the emptiness nature of inner being. When a problem arises, initiating the emptiness nature causes the problem to dissolve. And at one attempts peace and joy when people cling to layer nature emotion. The mind is easily disturbed. Initiating emptiness nature is better when facing issues. Otherwise, attachment leads to anger, ignorance. Illusion is stay happy. One deal with problems more clearly. Initiate the emptiness nature, we can apply the bit to others either one was when there's no stop sees and to separate the mind from environment. Total karma. Total karma is so total or thoughts and action around countless lifetimes. Was total karma the accumulation of what was heard that's no countless lifetimes. Stored in the stored consciousness, the conscious potentially conscious. Total karma consists of knowledge, action karma, result karma. As karma, knowledge, understanding, and awareness, accumulated through hearing, seeing, saying, knowing across countless lifetimes. Total relationship between people across countless lifetimes. Determining the relationship we encounter in life, when we met, family, we are born into a group of parents and
matter of
years.
the truth, saying no with a concept like transformer, the
Archie of closedness. Result karma, total result achievement, people have experience of lifetimes. This includes like achievements as a number of houses, money, more money, and success, and so on. Humans are born with the system of karma, which is why one is born into the Pacific family to have followed this for countless lifetimes. What we have not seen, said, and know in the past. Result is the values of nature, emotion, form, knowledge, connection, and result karma, stored in the subconscious within the human structure.
One is born into a
Example of knowledge karma.
family
Knowledge absorbed during learning is stored in the mind, and only we think is forget it. Disappear when we need it. Example of the result karma possessed in the house, car, rincha. Now we sample what we possess. In addition, the total karma is activity on distinct karma. Virtual specific karma rests on the body. This is known as block mark, unique to each person, belong to the result karma. Total karma pre-exists and dictates when and what will happen, and when will be event. Considering what we have contributed across our lifetimes. Therefore, we should be stable with everything that happens in life, rather than complaining. Understanding to the karma is not about resignation, about understanding a double rating principles of the result knowledge. Perception of result karma in this way of beneficial. Through understanding how electromagnetic vibration takes any being influenced the external energy vibration frequency. The electromagnetic vibration oscillators between negative positive balance. This corresponds to lower high and super high energy vibration frequency, respectively. Inner awareness only the energetic state of the inner being. Electromagnetic state of the inner being determines the energy vibration frequency. The energy vibration frequency determines our view of life, value, and cosmos. Power channel when the inner awareness of back electromagnetic state in the being in calm. One full loving chakra. This is positive vibration that emits high energy vibration frequency. It's to harmonious marriage. Similarly, it's obliged to health, finance, or health in the being. Low energy vibration frequency. Negative hearing, seeing, pain, knowing. A high energy vibration frequency. Total positive hearing, seeing, knowing. Super high energy vibration frequency meaning a balance in electromagnetic state of the inner being. On here, only hearing and seeing, only seeing. From a virtual marriage. The three form of marriage, married block, married pleasure and sin. The married block resides within the sound of inches. And block reside within the sound of the human nature. And also knowledge block negative electromagnetism, been suffering to others. As of negative electromagnetism often lead to undesirable things in life. For example, thinking about really and happiness been dedicated a combination of negative electromagnetism, injustice break up life. Blessing also located block of positive electromagnetism, a column by showing happiness to others. The present of positive electromagnetism leads to desired outcomes and lie of work. Finally, as we have been improved in lives of that choice, also no can electromagnetism of light, culminated or elevating the level of inner awareness of raising wisdom intellect level 3. In other words, to step out and realize the true nature within themselves. From a Buddhist perspective, the person have merit when they have positive enlightenment and liberation. Others like water of gold that are difficult to burn, but this is blessing like a mountain of gold money that can be burned by a single man. Action and effect, blessing, planning, presentment and planning dissipates the flower of positive
Ending
metropolitanism
that
because its nature negatively season. Women lose blessing easily through planning because they because the female body inherently carries high negative interpretism and less lasting, quickly planning. So the male body carrying a high activity than fluid yang in yin, quickly dissipating arrogant pride, passing easily to arrogant pride. High yang, positive electromagnetism. Women so quickly lose blessing by arrogance. Feel they can do everything themselves. Anger, ignorance, delusion. Sexual depth. The degree of loss, passing errors. According to social prejudice, after the effects, adherence, attachment. Already we have eliminated glamour, lengthness. Person retains endlessly someone that appreciates gratitude, appreciation is the emotion layer, tolerance, forgiveness, nature layer, physical in the heart, mind layer. Maintain a balance and positive orientation in the electromagnetism vibration being, activating the total karma system in the subconscious positive outcomes. This in time activated non-karma, tolerance, forgiveness, activate connection karma, appreciation and gratitude, appreciation activates the result karma.
Rồi, chúc thầy Luật về đích xinh tươi luôn.
chúc thầy Luật
Biết ơn cả nhà, biết ơn chị Thùy,
Xe đi
biết
công bố
ơn
điểm thôi.
chị Hương, biết ơn chị Văn Ân, biết ơn thầy Chuyên,
chúc mừng thầy
biết ơn chị
Luật
Loan, biết
về
ơn chị
đích
Trinh,
sinh tươi.
biết ơn chị Văn Thân,
Rồi mình
biết ơn chị Trang
chúc
Nhung,
mọi người đổi viền vàng
Hương
nha.
Cô Ân, biết ơn chị Phương
Vâng,
nha.
vàng ngày mai
rồi.
Chuyên
nào
mừng thầy Luật
Rồi,
xong mai thì
xong
Chuyên.
giơ tay xứ lên gái.
Yeah, ai yeah vậy?
Chị điểm danh nha, dòng này
Ai
là
yeah
chị
vậy?
rõ
Thank
rồi.
you, thank you.
Có chị Loan nè, có Vân Anh, có Băng Thanh, có
Thank you con. Hay quá con
có
ơi.
Lê, có Chuyên, có Diệu Hương, có Tố Trinh.
Chúc mừng.
Chị nãy chị vô được 10 phút, phút thứ 23. Rồi, coi như 9 người, 8 người full. Ok, và bạn Luật đã được đây, Luật đây 21,3 nha.
Yeah.
Vui quá đi, vui quá đi.
Còn coi gửi Chuyên nè,
Yeah.
Chuyên ngày mai còn 74 phút nè. Chuyên Diệu Hương còn 54. Có ráng cày sáng mai không hay là cày đêm
sáng
khuya?
mai rồi thôi, sáng mai em về luôn.
Sáng mai với
Mai Diệu
Hương với
Hương
Chuyên
và
nha.
Chuyên về đích sinh tươi. Còn bây giờ
Sáng mai nha.
đúng hóa cho thầy Luật.
Có rủ anh Đào sẽ
Sáng mai vô sớm
anh Đào
nha,
sáng
cả
đi
nhà
thi
mình
rồi.
vô sớm nha, 5 giờ nha, chạy cho nó nhanh nha.
Dạ.
Trời ơi, cô Anh gần đi
Chị Anh
ngủ
điển
rồi,
hình
cô Anh
đi.
gần đi ngủ rồi.
Mai
cô
chị Anh
Anh.
phụ trách đoàn đua buổi sáng.
Này,
Chúc
cô Anh
mừng cả
còn
nhà
nhớ
mình,
chúc
sáng
mừng
mai
chứ.
cả nhà mình vô sớm nha.
Bách ra đi chị Anh. Đổi bách ra chị Anh đổi nền
Cả
đi.
nhà ơi, bây giờ mình chúc mừng Trường Luật, mình thả bông thả tim chúc mừng Trường Luật.
Ôi, biết ơn cả nhà. Trời ơi,
Rồi nhá, mình
Quá.
một
vui
hai
quá. Nhờ cả nhà mình đồng hành với lại trợ lực á, nhất là đội ngũ chị Thùy, cô Anh, cô Paula này, chị Tiffany là lúc nào, chị Lê nữa, lúc nào cũng ở bên mọi người hết. Cho nên là đồng hành trong những ngày sắp tới ha cả nhà, hoàn thành hết tất cả chặng đua 21 giờ luôn ạ. Biết ơn cả nhà mình rất là nhiều.
Mấy chị nhà mình chỉ có chờ
Băng
để
Thanh đổi
phụng
viền
sự
vàng đi
mọi
Băng
người
Thanh.
thôi đấy.
Nền.
Hát bài đi để Luật hát tặng
Để
mọi người
Luật
một
hát
bài.
đi.
Cả nhà mình
Rồi
ơi,
Lê
chuyện câu
spotlight
chuyện
Luật
từ
đi
vựng
Lê.
cũng sẽ thế nha. Cả nhà mình cùng nhau đồng hành trong câu chuyện từ vựng nha.
Yeah.
Chị Anh ơi, chị Anh spotlight Luật giùm em với.
Cái năng
Ok.
lượng cái năng lượng của nhà mình nó tuyệt vời lắm. Tất cả các
Băng
lớp
Thanh
mà
ơi,
Luật
Băng
học
Thanh đổi
cái năng
nền với
lượng
lại cái
của
khuôn
lớp
viền
mình là tuyệt
giống
vời
mọi
nhất
người
á.
Băng Thanh. Lê đổi thêm khuôn viền vàng Lê ơi.
Dạ.
để em đổi phong vào.
Rồi
Ở
Luật
trong
làm
bếp nó,
biểu
ở
cảm
trong
gì
bếp
biểu
nó
cảm
giống như
nha.
gia đình như thầy Luật ạ, kể cả nước ngoài cũng thế.
Yeah.
Nhà đợi em xíu, em tìm cái phông vàng này. Thì nhờ ai chụp lại hộ em cái hình được không? Hay là em chụp?
Rồi, ok. Chị Triệu Anh khoan spotlight Luật đi để Văn Thanh đổi cái viền vàng luôn để cho mọi người chung hết một hình.
Chuyên đổi hình vàng với chuyên
riêng. Rồi.
Viền vàng Thanh không có.
Chỗ video filter chạy xuống dưới Thanh.
Wow.
Chỗ mà đổi mấy cái nón cái đồ đó.
Không, em chưa có cái background đó đó chị.
Không phải
không.
Đấy là trong cái
filter mà nón đỏ nón đồ đó Thanh.
filter của mình có ấy.
Video filter.
Và video filter vào.
Rồi thấy rồi, con thấy. Cảm ơn.
Rồi mọi người làm lại nha, biểu cảm nha, trả tim trả bông chi đi nha.
Tông thả hoa đi.
Rồi giờ
ai chụp nhỉ?
Rồi chị chụp rồi. Ok.
Em cảm ơn chị.
Biết ơn chị Thùy.
Rồi chúc
Biết ơn
mừng
chị
thầy
Lê.
Luật.
Biết ơn cô Anh. Biết ơn chị Trinh nè. Biết ơn chị
Trời,
Văn
thấy coi
Thân.
như
Biết
Luật
ơn
đẹp
cô
trai
Loan.
quá
Biết ơn
trời
cô
luôn.
Hương. Biết ơn anh Chuyên. Biết ơn chị Vân Anh. Biết ơn chị Trang Nhung. Biết ơn chị Phương nha. Có Phương
Rồi
nha.
chúc cả nhà ngủ
Rồi
ngon.
quá.
Nhà
Luật
em
hát
là
tặng
chỉ còn
mọi
cô
người một
Hồng Nhung
bài
thôi
xong
đó.
mọi người nghỉ nha.
Tới sáng luôn á. Rồi bye.
Hát tặng mọi người một bài.
Một
Vui quá đi.
đoạn đi. Một đoạn mà tâm đắc để mọi người. Ok, viết lên trường Luật.
Rồi để mở cái bài này để hát này. Mọi người hát chung cho vui. Để Luật share nha. Tắt spotlight giùm Luật được không ạ? Mặt sáng quá nó ngại. Ok, mọi người hát chung cho vui. Quên share âm thanh. Share âm thanh lại. Cái năng lượng của lớp mình nó thực sự là tuyệt vời. Mọi người đều đồng hành với nhau để hoàn thành.
Nghĩa là ngày mai nhà Năm sẽ có 3 cái phải đi.
Nghe được không ạ? Em nghe được nhạc không cả nhà?
Nghe được.
Nghe rồi. Yeah. Hiding from the rain and snow, trying to forget, but I won't let go. Looking at the crowded street, listening to my own heartbeat. So many people all around the world. Tell me, where do I find someone like you, girl? Take me to your heart, take me to your soul. Give me your hand before I'm old. Show me what love is, haven't got a clue. Show me that wonders can be true. They say nothing lasts forever. We're only here today. Love is now or never. Bring me far away. Take me to your heart, take me to your soul. Give me your hand and hold me. Show me what love is, be my guiding star. It's easy, take me to your heart. Okay, thank you cả nhà.
Biết ơn trường Luật.
Thầy Luật.
Trường Luật, chị
mừng cả nhà mình.
gửi huy chương hoàn thành cho trường Luật.
Trời, anh sướng dữ ta. Mấy bữa trước thấy mọi người đăng lên.
Ngọc Sương nữa này, Ngọc Sương vào chúc mừng nữa này. Xúc
Rồi cái Ngọc Sương vào nữa này.
Chị Sương. Trời ơi, có chị Sương vô.
Nhà em đấy, nhà bố em đấy.
Chị quá đi, nhà 4 mình đây này. Nhà 4 mình hình như top đầu rồi hả chị Thùy à?
Người vào
Nhà 4 em là top đầu rồi phải không?
Rồi nhà 4 bây giờ chỉ còn một thành viên thôi là ngon rồi. Về đích rồi. Quá
Em nhớ Luật chứ.
Thầy Luật.
May quá. Mang danh hôm qua là còn hơi nhục giờ rán lên. May ấy.
Nhà 4 là về đi hết rồi. Trường Luật là trời là cán chốt đoàn đúng không?
Chốt rồi đó.
Không, còn
chốt
một
rồi.
bạn nữa. Còn Thúy
Còn
Hà.
chị Hồng Minh, nhưng mà chị Hồng Minh
chị
không biết.
Hồng Minh nè.
Em thấy chị mà cái bạn Mai với bạn anh gì nhỉ, các một anh nam tên là Vương à, lâu đó không thấy nhỉ.
Vương lâu lắm rồi em thấy.
Vương này,
Không thấy Vương. Hồng
Đào.
Minh thì là đang chuẩn bị thi mentor 7. Quỳnh Mai
Ừ.
cũng thi mentor 7. Nên chắc là tập trung ôn bên kia.
Quỳnh Mai thi mentor 7. Thì mấy bạn mentor 7 thì tính sau, còn mình mọi người sắp xếp được cái về đích trước 17
nhiều men 7 về đích rồi mà, cũng như nhiều men 7 về đích phết rồi đấy. Đó. Nhóm mơ.
Ok, chúc mừng cả nhà mình nhé. Sáng mai nha, cả nhà mình vô
sáng
sớm
mai
nha,
đó
5 giờ nha.
đăng
Hẹn
chuyên
cả
với lại
nhà
người
mình
hương.
5 giờ sáng nha.
Chuyên này.